so we can upload to YouTube.
Who's Fat Khabib? He just popped in here.
I don't know. He's probably
Or Fat
fat though.
Kamzat, never mind.
He's probably fat though. Fucking Claudio Ribeiro, like anybody who was on Holmes, I'm not gonna talk shit, but like, man, I felt like that was a no fucking brainer. That was
I was
I
on
just
home.
were you really? I just felt like Claudio was a no brainer, and then Ikram, bro. I think Ikram could be a top. I think he could fight one of the lower top 10 guys right now and probably beat him. Like that dude is a fucking savage.
Bro, he called out Bo. Think he gets him?
No, they're not giving Bo anybody who could possibly beat him for a long time to be seen, in my opinion, bro. Bo Nickal, big star. Like, if you're in the MMA realm, we may not realize it, but like in the spectrum of there's a lot of life outside of MMA, Bo Nickal is a big fucking star, man. Like that dude's got a huge following and like he gets views and his following is legit. It's people that like want to see him. So I think Bo, I will not say like it's an easy road. There's no fucking easy road, right? But I think he gets a favorable path to like the top 5
Like,
sincere.
any of the fights this weekend really even get your wiener hard? Or, I mean...
Oh yeah, I'm excited for a few of them. We'll pop that shit off in a couple of minutes. I'm excited for a few of them. Bro, the best fight of the night. Did you guys see the Jandaroba fight? Rodriguez? Edge of the
Cash.
seat?
Loved it, Cash.
Everybody was all excited.
Did you say
She was
best
plus
fight of the
185,
night?
and I was waiting for her to hit.
Hey, you picking on her because it's my girl? Damn, man.
I would smash them both.
Oh, man, that's sick.
Same time, dude.
Bro, she's on Ariel's desk. Jandaroba's a fucking savage. That fight was so exciting. I can't wait till either one of them fight again. It was so exciting. Chaos Williams lost. Was I the only one that seen that?
He didn't, but he did.
Yeah, like I'm not, I don't argue or cry about the judges, but like Vinny, you got a lot of background. I don't argue or cry about the judges, so like whatever, he got the W, but like he lost that fight in my opinion.
Everyone was
Like,
crying about the main event when if you want to talk about a fight where like someone really got it wrong, it was this one.
That main event needed a 6th round.
Yeah, no, I'll agree. Like I got opinions about the main event because I wasn't on Henry's side or anything. But this was a clear robbery to me. Ninjoku made easy work of Clark, and then fucking Matt Favola. Bro.
I cashed on that.
I did not see that coming at all. That was insane.
Bro, that was fucking great.
Where did he come from, bro? He knocked the fuck out of him.
Bro, it was
phenomenal. I just knew that he hit hard and the freaking odds was like plus 500. And I was like, why the hell not?
All I had on it was inside the distance, and that was on the parlay that cashed. So, I mean, I was pretty fucking excited about that. But, yeah, that was fucking great. If you put 3 of those on every card, I won't care if you put fucking scrubs and nobody's on there. If I can see that shit happen 3 times on every card, I'll never fucking complain. Kron Gracie came straight out of 1993 and tried to compete. Did you guys see?
Unfortunately.
Hey, my bad, guys. I should have
Terrible
about that Crone sub prop, man. I'm sorry about that. But if anyone cashed that Jourdain decision, let's go.
He was terrible. He was fucking terrible.
Yeah, bro. He proved that Royce Gracie would get his ass whooped in the 2023 UFC.
Bro, he made Ryan Hall.
The Gracie name has got to get off the fucking jiu-jitsu. Making all the jiu-jitsu guys look like pussies, dude.
Yeah, it's sad, man, because it's unfortunate, man. He's ruining it for the rest.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that have
full guard and shit.
You mean Ryan Hall and Dan Hooker's last opponent didn't do it for you guys?
Oh, that shit was terrible too.
But here's my thing. Like, so I feel like Kron's attitude is
garbage.
Yeah, fuck him.
Look, I'm not even like the
dude.
biggest fan of Henry, but when I saw that video and Henry was just being like genuine, he's like, "Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?" And the guy's like, "Let me know when he's done." And I'm like, "Damn, bro."
For no reason.
Just uncalled for. Yeah, like exactly, for no fucking reason.
Well, and then he like never once ever makes you feel for a moment like he wants to be doing this. Like
Right.
he never ever makes you feel like he wants to be doing this.
100%.
Did Henry impress in you guys? Do you guys any of you guys think he was going to get just destroyed?
No, I originally thought Eljo was the side, and then I flipped, right? Didn't matter that parlay died early. So I think I said it in the space last week. I shouldn't bet it because whenever we fade ourselves around here, we're fucking wrong. But I thought Henry looked like I kind of expected him to look. I give Eljo credit, man. I think Eljo looked good. I did think personally, I don't want to say I did think. If the judges would have gave it to Henry 3-2, I wouldn't have questioned it or thought twice about it. When they gave it to Eljo 3-2, I did not question it or think twice about it. But one of the judges did it like, didn't one of the judges do 4-1 or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. It could have went 2-3 either way. And then I seen somebody was breaking down the scorecards that if the one judge would have gave the fifth round to Henry, which he did fucking clearly win,
Yes.
he would have won the split.
He would have won the split. Yeah. I don't know. It depends because so for me, I didn't bet that fight and I didn't want to bet that fight because I said all week, I'm like, dude, this is one of those fights where I'm open to literally any argument. Like you can say Aljo wins this way and I'm going to be like, yeah, I can see a pathway for that. You could have been like, hey, Henry's going to win this way. And I'd be like, yeah, I can see a pathway for that. So I was like, I'm not betting this shit. I'm not betting it. And it was so close. I mean, either way, I'm not mad. I watched it with objective eyes, and I did have it for Aljo. I had Henry winning rounds 2 and 5. 2 is pretty close, so that was the kind of the swing round, in my opinion. If they would have given Henry round 2, I wouldn't have been upset. But yeah, it was a close fight. It wasn't a robbery. Yeah, I think people are just upset. It wasn't a robbery. It was a close fight. So it could have gone either way. I would have been fine with it either way, but no robbery.
What I will say is distinct rounds. Henry only got 5. Eljo got 1-4. So, like yeah. So just whatever. The other 2 rounds, however they got scored, and it didn't go Henry's way. But like, if you want to talk definitive scoring, Henry didn't definitively do enough to get the W, period. Like he didn't do it. I'm not hating on nothing. I don't dislike Henry. I don't like his style. I don't like him in person, but I don't dislike him as a fighter is what I should say. I just, yeah, whatever. He didn't get the W. Yan Xiaonan versus, who does she fight? She fights who's the champion at, no, the champion at 115 is
Whaley?
Wei Li. The name was, I got it typed out if I scroll up. Bro, if they get them on a pay-per-view in Asia, I know that some of you guys are immediately going to bark back at me. Bro, that might be one of the biggest UFC cards ever.
No, I don't disagree with you at all. What do you mean? That's
on numbers, bro, that shit might set some real fucking records. Like, I don't know how pay-per-views would work, how they work in Asia, but like viewership,
oh yeah.
I bet that motherfucker sets the record for
I don't
viewership.
think
I
people have
bet.
a full grasp on like how many people are actually in Asia compared to like the rest of the world. I don't think people fully realize that. Like one's numbers in Asia do better than our numbers. It's just not even close. There are so many fucking people that live there, man. That's I completely understand why he's trying to been getting into the Asian market, especially China. This makes sense. I'm with you, man. I think that shit's gonna be fucking nuts.
I'm gonna schedule a vacation for that weekend if they pick that fight.
Dude, I don't even know where Asia is on the map.
Yes. So the thing is like when you look at, I won't kill this topic, but when you look at the big matrix that have been released over the past year, and Chachri is the guy who loved to get them out. So that was, I think, the source of where I seen the links and shit. One is like top 4 number getting sports productions anywhere, bro. Like there's 2 soccer leagues and an F1 league ahead of them for
Because
viewership.
they don't have a stupid rule like no knees on the ground.
Yeah, you ain't lying. But it's just, the thing is it's not like Andrew was just saying, to pull 100 million viewers in Asia when there's nearly 3 billion people over there. Like it's not unrealistic. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's massive, massive for the UFC. And Dana started talking about getting her in China immediately in the post fight presser. I think that's the whole card. Diego Lopez got beat up. We didn't talk about that, but he was supposed to get beat up, so that's not a big deal. We don't have to get too crazy on that.
Nah, bro. No. You got to give this dude his roses, man. That dude looked fucking great.
Yeah,
This guy's
I mean, to
first
make it to a
fucking
decision,
fight
that's
on
pretty
like
damn good.
5 days notice against a top 15 ranked guy in the entire world. And he almost finished him, what, 2 or 3 separate times where it was that close. Bro, you got to give him his flowers.
With a Justin Bieber haircut,
Yeah, I
I
know,
mean,
man.
come
Dude, I
on.
was saying that he looked like a creative character and someone just wanted to make the wrong hair. But he looked great. I think Dana took care of him. He paid him his win money and gave him the $50,000 bonus, which was tight. I guarantee you, he does him a
And
solid
paid
and
it,
gets him
yeah.
an easy fight next.
Yeah, or a favorable one. I don't like to call them easy, but there's definitely a thing as favorable. That's my new word, because it's pretty undeniable that the UFC does favorable fucking things for people.
But
Um,
the question is though, what do you call it? So you guys know that Dana White, gave him all the extra money. So would you guys say that Dana White likes Bedoya? Because I'm not gonna lie, like I was very impressed with him, and I kind of expected him to do what he did. That's why I picked him by decision. But man, you guys think he really will get favorable matchups, or like you guys think he's a little too older now?
Bedoya or
He's
Bedoya.
young, I thought.
He's not like 28 though, or some shit like around that age. It's kind of young, but it's not as young as the UFC would like. Usually.
Yeah, I feel you. Nah,
I'm trying to check his age for you right now. I thought he was 32. I looked last week. Oh, 26. He's young. Yeah, bro. He'll bright future in front of him. I'm sure.
he trains with
He
Oliveira. I didn't know that.
So if they put Bedoya versus, oh no, that's the wrong. Never mind, that's the wrong weight classes. I was gonna say Bedoya versus Lopez, but fuck, they're 2 classes apart. I don't know why I thought that was close. I'm gonna go to the card, boys. UFC. This, I love all the names. So this is UFC on AB4, UFC Charlotte, but it would actually be UFC Charlotte 3, I think. At least UFC Charlotte 2. UFC Fight Night 223. It is also UFC Rozenstruik versus Almeida. April or May 13th at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. Prelims start at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. That's extra early for you Pacific Standard boys. 8:30 a.m. and then a noon start time for the West Coast guys. 3 p.m. for us boys on the East Coast. Only fight canceled on this card, and this is the first card to only have one cancellation in the 7 weeks that I've started tracking them. The only on record like was booked and canceled fight is Mackenzie Dern and Angela Hill. Not actually canceled, rescheduled to replace Raquel Pennington and Irina Aldana at UFC Vegas 73. I'm I'm fucking baffled that they pulled that fight to make it a headliner. Am I the only one?
I'm not
Have you guys
shocked.
looked at that card that they're taking over?
I'm not shocked based on just how last minute a lot of shit has been
What's the
recently.
sell?
Huh?
It's UFC.
Yeah.
That's a sell.
Dude, they
It's
know people
typical
love
That's a
UFC.
Dern. What do you
super
mean?
shitty card. That's a super shitty card when Dern and Hill are your saviors. Like, holy crap.
I mean, I'm just saying I get it. I'm not saying it's going to be a huge sell, but I get it.
Next
All
week's
I
show, we
was
might.
getting at, all I was getting at is Edmund Shabazian versus Anthony Hernandez, which is the co-main. Seems like a better headline than that fight to me. That's all I was getting at. Like, why the fuck
Me
did
versus
they
you sounds
pull?
like a better one.
It's showing Pennington for me.
No, that fight is off. Raquel Pennington is off the card, and it's Mackenzie Dern, Angela Hill.
Yo,
Positive.
Hills, I hate her, but that Shabazian fight, that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, and then they've got Fiallo, Buckley under them. Like, it's a pretty good main card. Like the three fights that are left on it are pretty good. So I guess I do understand why they had to add. Never mind. All right, we'll move on to UFC on ABC4 Fight Night 223, Charlotte 2 or 3. First fight of the night is Jessica Rose Clark versus Tarina Lisboa. Clark is 5'5", 64-inch reach. Lisboa is 5'6". The UFC doesn't record her reach. This is her debut, so there's not a bunch of stats on her. So we'll just skip Rose Clark's because, yeah, I don't like to do it one-sided. Lisboa is 3-2 or 4-1 in her last 5. She's coming out of Iron Man MMA. Before that, it was Acesso MMA, and then Women's Fight, and then Judo Brazil. She's actually never fought in the same place twice in her 7 fights, 7 professional fights, anyways. Jessica Rose Clark is 2-3 in her last 5. I'm not making a big deal of this fight because there's just nothing to make a big deal about. We have seen, I will even say, especially in the women's division or that men's heavyweight division, we have seen people come in off a bunch of finishes and then hit a brick wall. Lisboa is coming in off of 3 straight first round finishes. And Jessica Rose Clark is coming in off of 2 first round finishes, consecutive first round finishes. So, I mean, I guess, the guys who are just looking at it that way will say the sub is there. I'm going to parlay Lisboa, but just like one play, just because I think Jessica Rose Clark is a fade. Yeah, that's all I got on this fight. I see Rhino with his hand up. Go ahead, bud.
Okay, well, take her off of your parlay thing because this Lisboa hasn't fought in a year. She submitted a Oliveira with a 1-4 record. Is what she fought that girl. Then she knocked out a debuter. She lost a decision
You
to a
still there,
two and
bud?
one. Yeah, you hear me?
To open the ABC card. That makes good
Yeah,
sense too.
and that's so. I mean, if you're gonna put on this, I wouldn't expect this chump girl that hasn't fought in a year to make her debut against somebody. As much as she sucks, she still has got some, veteran status that you got to give it to her. I mean, she could fuck it up, but I wouldn't get too close to expecting some girl that's never fought anybody at all.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna take it on the finish. Just gonna put her on a parlay. I did put her on a parlay just because I think Clark is a fade. I don't know. I just do.
She is. So if she was fighting somebody with like an actual script, I would give it to you. But she's not. She's fighting a newcomer with nothing.
All right, I can't argue with you. I still took her ass in a $20 parlay, though. Did anybody else put time into this exciting fight?
Like
Come
Rhino
on,
said
guys.
before, the real winners are the people here.
Hey, damn Skippy, they are.
We'll laugh that shit out. All right, next fight on the card is Brian Battle versus Gabe Green. Gabe Green 11-4, Brian Battle 9-2. Gabe is 5'10", 73 inches of reach. Brian is 6'1", 77 inches. He is 1-3 in his last four. Those four inside the UFC. Or I'm sorry, 3-1 in his last four. Gabe Green is 2-2 in his last four. We're just doing the last four because they're all inside the UFC. Gabe Green on numbers shows a higher output, just over 6 strikes per minute. Ryan Battles at almost 4.5. Both guys are in the 40% for striking defense. Gabe Green, however, even though he puts out 6.2 strikes per minute, somehow manages to absorb 6.9. Yeah, it doesn't speak very well for him. I did tape on this fight. Man, I should have seen that Dead Picks put his name on it, and I should have just left his name on it. But I didn't. So here's what I got in a nutshell. Brian seems to be content on his back, trying to throw up submission attempts. I never, not once in 15 minutes of the Renat fight, where he seemed to accept his back for almost 15 minutes, seen him put Renat in trouble even once. There was never one submission or one squeeze or one choke that made you feel like, oh, he's got him, he's got him, he's got him. Gary made a comment about purple belt syndrome last week or in the chat, and I was like, what the fuck is purple belt syndrome? And he was like, dudes that just keep throwing up submissions because they think they're sweet off their back. And I laughed about it. And then I watched Brian fight, and then I watched him fight again, and then I watched him fight again, and then I thought of Gary just telling me about purple belt syndrome. And Brian definitely has purple belt syndrome. Okay, Gabe is all right. Wait. So I scrolled. I'm sorry, man. When my shit scrolls, I get all lost. Okay, so Renat, I'm not trying to take. I won't take too much away from the fact that Battle was controlled by Renat just because he's such a fucking beast. Gabe is tough. Ian Gary couldn't put him away. D-Rod couldn't put him away. Gary even dropped him. His problem is he's not a matador. He's a bull. All you got to do is stand out in front of him, and he will just keep coming. But he doesn't have good forward pressure. He just keeps coming. There's a big difference. And that was the number one takeaway I seen about him was like all guys had to do was take a couple side steps, start circling the cage a little bit, and he would chase them. I don't think that he's very skillful. I think that he will try a lot of sloppy grappling. I do, however, favor him to win. I think in the later rounds, Brian will gas a little bit and Gabe will be able to lay on him. And I think that the judges will probably give it to him on that. That's just a pick. I'm not betting Gabe. I am betting the over 1.5. I do think that's pretty fucking given. If you watch either of these guys fight, it's going to have to be some freak shit like that head kick that Brian got, which is like, it was some freak shit when he got that head kick. That's not something Brian runs out there and does. He's not KOing people in the UFC. It's not who he is. So I think the over 1.5 is a very smart bet. Fight to go the distance if you want a little deeper odds. I don't know that I'll play it, but I think fight to go the distance, yes, is good. And if you're looking for a super prop that's going to have super high odds, I bet you can get a really good line on Brian by split decision. Again, Gabe was just a pick, not something I say to bet. I seen Zaza put his hands up. I don't know if anybody else had him up. Zaza, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if you thought this fight goes the distance, and you pretty much answered it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it could. Yeah, it's if Brian fights off a back foot, like if he can fight off his back foot, he'll beat him. He'll beat him for sure. But I don't think he'll knock him out. I don't think he'll finish him. I don't think Brian's that guy. I just think that's the formula to beat him. Yeah, tell me if you want or don't. I always say don't, but the over 1.5, man, I think it's a good one. Unless somebody else wants to throw in on this fight, I'm going to move right past it because I don't think it's one worth drawing a big discussion about, and I think there's a couple that we will. Sweet. Up next is Kim versus Mandy Boom. I can't say her name right, so we're gonna call it Kim. That's her last name, and boom. My actual notes on this are I don't have much to say about these girls, except these girls go all the way over 1.5, over 2.5. Fight goes the distance. That shit all looks appealing to me. Yeah, that's it. I'll bet the over 1.5. Rhino's on tape. I'm so sorry, bro, but
Yeah, that was
hopefully you did it.
sleepy as can be. I watched and fell asleep in my chair one night and then went back in and watched it at work. So I couldn't go to sleep. And seeing that basically they both stand. Uh, Mandy's from Germany. She never really fought anybody in her past. Then when she came into the UFC, she really hasn't done anything. She's kind of been controlled. Even when she had like reach advantage, she didn't do anything with it. She doesn't seem to be very aggressive. Kim, who's got like a past like boxing history from South Korea, uh, definitely shows it. She's got some stand up. Her losses, as much as it looks horrible with all of these losses in a row, she does have better striking in my opinion, and they size up pretty good to each other. With them, her not having any reach advantage or anything like that, I'm going to take Kim. Obviously, going the distance because neither one of them are going to hurt anybody at all. Uh, Mandy's never fought higher up, meaning in weight classes where Kim has fought in some bantamweight. So I'm taking Kim in the decision.
I may tell you that on a long parlay there. Yeah, I may parlay that on or play that on a long parlay. Kim by decision. Anybody else on this fight? Oh, what a big surprise there.
I'm sure you guys were up all night watching this one.
I'm gonna take the over though.
You
Yeah,
should take the over.
course.
Are you
If
taking the
there's an
over
early
1.5 or
stoppage
the
in
over
this
2.5?
fight, it'd be a shock. Either one.
What was that?
Yeah. Over 1.5 or over 2.5?
Yeah. Which one on DraftKings? You can alter it, or is there a set like over
Yeah,
two and a
so if
half?
you on DraftKings, you can pick either once they drop the lines. You can even take over half a round, over 1.5 rounds, over 2.5 rounds, over 3.5 rounds. They do that, and then they'll even give you like rounds to start, round 1 to start, round 2 to start, round 3 to start. If you get in their day of fight, they do it on all of them now, which is pretty cool. You can, I mean, it sounds like you could go in there and make money, but you bet some of that shit that you're like, oh, that's a lock. You pick fucking 15 picks, and it's like plus 300. You know what I'm saying? Like some of that shit, they know it's minus crazy odds, but they still post it for most of them. The one that I don't see or that I didn't see on odds last week or this week is they used to have fight to go the distance no without a side. And now the only way I see it is fight to go the distance yes. I don't see the fight to go the distance no anywhere for any of them. I don't know. Next fight up is Nathan Levy versus Pete Rodriguez. Let me click over the tail of the tape here. I thought I had it already. My bad. Nathan Levy is 5'9", 71 inches of reach, 8-1. Pete Rodriguez is 5'9", 71 inches of reach, 5-1. Levy is a southpaw. Rodriguez fights switch stance. Pete Rodriguez only has 2 fights in the UFC, but he averages 10 significant strikes per minute when he is fighting. Levy averages 4.01, so 4 strikes per minute landed. Strikes absorbed at 3.5. I mean, Rodriguez's numbers are clearly slanted because of the fights he was in, like when he fought Jack Della Maddalena. So he absorbed 11.69. If that was over 5 fights, that would be like the fucking record. So that number will probably come way down. Pete Rodriguez isn't a guy that's impressed me personally. I don't have a big problem with him. Actually, one of the guys I consider pretty sharp, who is in the chat group, D Baby, thinks Pete Rodriguez can pull it off. So maybe he can. I know the dude gets it done inside the first round quite a bit. Nathan Levy may be the answer for that because he goes the distance all the fucking time. I can't remember. I'm trying to click over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row. He's gone the distance. So I don't know how well Pete would fare in rounds 2 and rounds 3 because we've never even seen him there, and the chances that Nathan takes him there are pretty good in my opinion. Is anybody betting this fight? I won't have a bet on this fight. Will anybody have a parlay or anything on this one?
I might take a stab at it. He's knocked everybody out in the first round or lost in the first round.
Yeah. He's 5-1. Jack Della Maddalena knocked him out 3 minutes into the first. Other than that, he knocked out Mike Jackson. And then 4 guys on the regional scene. One guy was 1-3 after he was done with them. One guy was 1-2. Another guy is currently 0-4. And the first guy he fought as a pro is currently 3-4 and was 2-2 when he fought Pete. So I don't know. Pete's
Watch out
resume.
now.
Yeah, his resume isn't real deep there. He did knock out Mike Jackson though, which I mean we all know Mike's big deal. He beat up Phil Brooks. Remember that? Tickled him. So he's pretty big deal. He's 1-2-1 in the UFC. I can't even keep it together. Yeah, I don't know. Kid seems like a fade. D Baby thinks he can pull it off, which makes me wonder, but I got nothing on this fucking fight anyway as far as action. I won't even have it over, under, aside. I won't parlay this fight at all. Will was going to do tape, but I don't see Will tonight, and he don't typically miss when he says he's going to tape, so I'm not going to make a big deal of it. We'll lap that one out too. Next one up. Oh man, Carlos Alberg versus Eor Patoria. Tell me how to say it right, boys.
Well, it's actually Cody Stamen versus Douglas Silva de Andrade.
Yeah, about to say
Is
we didn't
that?
even get to Matt Brown yet.
Same. I got Cody.
Ah man, I'm just on. I switched websites. You guys are right. Okay, back on UFCstats.com, which clearly has the right order. It is Cody Stamen versus Douglas De Silva Andrade. Cody Stamen, 21-5-1, 5'6", 64 inches of reach, orthodox. Silva de Andrade, 28-5-0, 1 no contest. 5'7", 68 inches of reach, orthodox. Both guys throw around 4 per minute. They both absorb at 4 per minute. Stamen averages 2.5 takedowns per 15 minutes. Andrade, none. Stamen is 2-3 in his last 5. Andrade is 3-2 in his last 5. This is another fight where I'm proud to say I did not have to tape it, but unfortunately, Rhino did. So, Rhino, what you got?
Man, I spent a lot of time on this. This is a tough, fight to really go one side or the other. I mean, when you look at Douglas, I mean, he's getting up there in age. He's got a lot of heart. You can't take that away from the guy. When I watched him fight Sergey Morozov, it was actually a comeback win. He got dropped pretty hard, almost got finished, came back. I think that was a submission win that he got with a rear naked choke after like almost getting finished. That was pretty impressive. Uh, then he fought Said Nurmagomedov in his last fight. That was pretty impressive for him to make it all the way to the decision. And there, I mean, he obviously lost, but he put up a pretty good fight in that being such an underdog. Uh, and then, of course, Said finished Cody with a good gilly. Basically, just kind of got it handed to him. He hit him with pressure. If you want to beat Cody Stamen, you got to pressure him. The only pressure problem I see here that is an issue is Douglas isn't too much of a grappler or anything like that. And his swing, like his strikes are pretty, open. He throws a lot of right hands that are just wild. So like that doesn't really scare me too much. But like if you really want to beat Cody, you're gonna have to pressure him. But even when Cody got pressured by Marab, he actually put up a pretty good fight in that. I mean, he answered him back. He grappled with him. Marab just beat him because he doesn't stop moving. So that's the way to beat Cody Stamen. I mean, if we're gonna go with Cody Stamen to win, I think he's gonna take it to a decision type of thing, or could possibly finish him, just because Douglas is kind of getting up there in age, and Cody does have a little bit of power. I wouldn't say he has a lot of power, but he's never been knocked out, and that's kind of Douglas's way of fighting. He's an aggressive striker. He's got pretty good takedown defense. He's a strong guy. But could he knock out Cody Stamen? I really don't think so. So I do see the fight going a little bit longer. Uh, I mean, I'm having a hard time kind of picking somebody in this fight. I mean, as for a betting stand, I'm going to stay away. I don't want to mess with this because I feel like if I pick one to win in the decision, the other one's going to win, or some crazy knockout's going to happen, because both of these guys really don't have the best fight IQ. They, kind of stall when they're fighting bigger guys, or not so much bigger guys, but guys that have higher rank. And when because they've gone back and forth, just like you're looking at their stats. I mean, Cody's on this little win streak, but he beat, a washed up Eddie Wineland, but he beat him with some pressure and stuff like that. Come out in his last fight, it was kind of close, where he really needed to make a statement in this. So, I mean, I'm going to take Cody Stamen as my winner just by decision, even though I've seen a lot of tape on guys, other people that have watched it that are going for the Douglas dog. But I'm going to take Stamen. I think I'm going to go with a decision on it, or at least I'd probably go over 1.5. I wouldn't go over 2.5 because something could just fuck up and happen. But please fight me on this one. I don't want to hear nothing.
Anybody? Yeah. When we start breaking them down on tape, it lets everybody kind of dedicate their time. So this just isn't a fight I figured would get any reads. I didn't do
It's
much tape.
tough. It's a tough
I
fight to figure out, man. They've both been around. They're veterans in the game. They've put a lot of time in. Trying to just say it's going to go one way or the other is tough, man. Cody's never been knocked out. So for Douglas to just come in here and just drop him, with his style of fighting, who's never really gone to the ground. Just it's not my style of picks. I mean, he's just too one-sided. Where Cody's kind of all around. He's got a better game. So I'll take him in the decision. We'll see how it works.
Yeah, if I'm picking a side, to be honest, I'm going to pick Cody. Yeah, that's just the side I'm going to pick because I think he's the better fighter. I will say this though, Andrade took Saeed. I mean, I know you said it. He took him the distance, and Saeed made quick fucking work of
Well, he,
staying.
he came in there, he pressured him, he kicked him with a nice like spinning back to the stomach. That was pretty hard. So Cody went in for a double leg, and as soon as he put his leg, the size differential is, I guess, a possibility into it because Saeed's definitely way bigger than Cody. As much as these stats look like they're pretty decent size for Douglas, but as soon as he went in, them long, lengthy ass arms just went right under, and there was nobody in the world that was getting out of that gilly.
Yeah, I remember that kick. Actually, I didn't tape it, but I remember that fucking kick you're talking about. I don't know. I won't be on it, even in deep action. I won't be on this fight. Yeah, just not one. I've got like 6, 7 of them. I'm looking to try and mix up different various things in parlays, but this won't be one of them. Up next, I believe, is I'm gonna laugh that one. Um, that was good tape, by the way, bro. I'm gonna lap that one. Up next on UFCstats.com is Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman. Carl Williams, 8-1, 6'3", 79 inches of reach, walks at 235. Sherman, 16-11, 6'4", 78 inches of reach, orthodox, walks at 250. Sherman lands at 6.3 significant strikes per minute. And he's got a pretty deep resume. So that number is proven over time, but he absorbs at 6.8 per minute. Again, that number is proven over time. Williams only has 2 UFC fights. He's only landed 2 significant strikes per minute. He's absorbed only 0.9 per minute, too. Dude's been pretty hot. Carl Williams in his last 5 is 5-0. Chase Sherman in his last 5 is the win was against Jared Vandera was 2 fights ago. He's 1-5 in his last 6. He's part of like this triangle fade deal that I have. Jake Collier, Jared Vandera, and Chase Sherman. And if you take their like last 16 or 17 fights, they've only beat each other. Like that's it. They haven't beat. Oh wait, Vandera just left and choked out a guy that was 0-0. Like that drunk guy that was like, "I'll get an occasion fight a UFC fighter." He beat that guy, but we're not going to count that shit in the UFC. In like their last 15 fights, they've only beat each other. Yeah, so I don't know. Chase Sherman is the biggest. Chase Sherman is a nice guy, but he's a big fade, in my opinion. I'm on Carl Williams. I will be parlaying the shit out of Carl Williams. Um, Tape work on this fight. Oh, nobody had tape work on this fight. Anybody else on this fight?
Because everybody knows what's going to happen. No one's got to watch any tape.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, why would you watch tape?
How you guys thinking?
No, you already know what it is, man. Get your WrestleMania tickets ready. That's it. That's tape right there.
Yeah, boy.
That's tape right there, man. Chase Sherman cannot stop a takedown to save his life. Carl Williams likes to take people down. I mean, 2 + 2 is 4, right? Get your WrestleMania
And
tickets.
ground and
Yeah, bro.
pound is coming.
He's got 11 takedowns in his first 2 UFC fights, bro. He took down Lucas 8 fucking times. I mean, to Lucas's credit, he kept getting up, but yeah, bro. It's this seems pretty easy. If I was gonna bet this fight for a prop, I would probably pick Carl Williams. I know the submission seems really live, but like I think he'll ground and pound his ass out. Usman, what you got?
Yo, y'all guys are fucking
Hey, what
zooming.
up, bud?
Y'all are
Yo, don't
zooming
let
through this
no, no,
goddamn
no. Don't let
card.
this fucking guy talk, bro. I'm done with this guy.
Andrew, behave. You're my best friend, bro.
What's going on, buddy?
Now, y'all guys are seeing a finish here on this one or what?
Are you asking me if I see a finish on this fight?
Yeah, I just see two shitty heavyweights, and you know I'm gonna bet the over. So
Yeah, I mean Chase Sherman. Yeah,
He's super
chances
shitty.
are.
He's not just shitty. He's super shitty.
Yeah, chances are it is an over 1.5 fight, but I don't think it makes. I wouldn't count on it making the distance. Carl Williams could definitely knock Chase Sherman out.
I
I'm not
doesn't
putting a ton of fucking faith in it.
when Sherman gets taken down, doesn't he just have like a tendency to not get up and then just kind of like give up and shell up until they call it off?
So Chase Sherman on uh, where the hell did this fight go? Chase Sherman in his last. So Romanoff took him down 3 times. Collier took him down once. Porter took him down once. Uh, Sakai took him down once. Most people have only taken him down once. When Collier took him down, it led to a total of 1 minute control time. When Porter took him down, it led to 2 minutes and 19 seconds of control time. Justin Willis was 3 minutes control time. Trying to pick fights that went the distance when I give those numbers. I'm sorry. The Collier fight did not go the distance. He got subbed quick. The Arlovsky fight went the distance, though. No takedowns there. Yeah, I mean, I guess he's not a guy that gets takedown and controlled a lot. He's just, bro, I don't, you know how hard I'm trying not to say shitty things about fighters because I think that all of us as fans and cappers and watchers should not do that because we all are actually fucking fans, regardless of what we want to say. But man, Chase Sherman is only in the UFC because the heavyweight division is the shallow weight division. That's why. That's the only reason he's in the UFC. So, Carl Williams all day. I don't need to tape shit. Carl Williams all fucking day. Um, is anybody else betting this? Like, I'm parlaying it. I'm not. I'm not laying down anything on minus 400 for Carl Williams. Like, other than parlaying it. But who else is playing it? Nobody. Well,
It's
then
a
fuck you
heavyweight
guys.
banger,
What
man.
am I
You
doing?
can't bet these. Just bet fight doesn't go to
Man,
decision, or yeah, bet fight doesn't go to decision. Fight undecided distance. You should be good.
No, dead. When it's good heavyweights, you take the under, but when it's like low tier heavyweights, you take the over.
yeah, I agree.
And they go to Burger King after.
I'll be parlaying the over. You know I can't stay away. My ass tried to. Well, you know I'm going to do it anyways.
Last 10 fights can distance or ended in the first round. Three first rounds and 7 went the distance. Like by probability, bro, you've got a 70% chance. I don't know a better way to fucking break it down for you. All right. So next on this card on UFCstats.com is Matt Brown versus Court McGee. 170-pound matchup. Matt Brown 25 and 19 over many UFC fights, only has a average fight time of 9 minutes 24 seconds. I don't know, those numbers stand out sometimes for these guys that have these really long careers. 6 foot 75 inches of reach, fights orthodox. McGee is 22 and 11, 5'11", 75 inches of reach, orthodox. Both guys like to throw. Matt Brown lands at almost 4. McGee lands at almost 5 per minute. Brown absorbs at almost 3. McGee absorbs at almost 4 per minute. Takedowns are live for both of them. They both average almost 2 per 15 minutes. In his last 5, Matt Brown is 2-3, and Court McGee is 2-3. Matt Brown is coming off of, man, I'm trying to click screens here, guys. Sorry. Matt Brown is coming off a split decision loss to Brian Barbereno. And Court McGee is coming off of a knockout loss to Jeremiah Wells, first round on the Emmett Cater card in June of last year. Switching screens here. Sorry, man. Dead Picks was on tape for this. What you got, bro?
So yeah, I'm gonna bet Matt Brown because, well, first and foremost, I am actually a fan of Matt Brown. Guys like him and like guys like Carlos Condit. Like those are the type of guys like I like to watch. And back. So for this fight, initially when I went to go watch Court's tape, I first ran back to that Carlos Condit fight, and I'm like, okay. And then I instantly knew that I pretty much was leading Matt Brown, and Court McGee, he's a decent fighter. He's gonna have the better power in this matchup. But the thing is, if he's gonna keep it a stand-up fight, he's gonna lose the fight because he's not really that well versed. I would say in stand-up. I think he uses his wrestling better when he mixes it up with the stand-up. When he fakes shots, takes the shots, and I just think he's better when he mixes it up. But if he's just gonna go straight up like dog fight, this is an easy Matt Brown fight. Like I could easily see him edge out a decision. The thing with Matt Brown is too, I noticed that he usually has like all these knockouts. He's finished or be finished unless he's fighting a respectable, an opponent in terms of a stand up fight like with Brian Barberena and with Condit. Yeah, Matt Brown, you would think he's older now and that he's losing the flame, but he could still go. He doesn't have the power I would say that he once had, but he still has enough of it. I mean, he knocked out Diego Lima, and that was I guess 2 years ago. But that if you watch back that fight with Brian Barberena, you could really see that okay, he's starting to age a bit. But if also in that fight, if you watch it too, you see that he's fighting the 15 minutes. He's there for the dog fight. He's there, still doing the usual. He's doing the spin elbows and he's going for the kicks. Fuck. Yeah, I'm not really trying to overthink this one. It's really just Court McGee, man. It just is. If it's a matter if he's going to be able to get the takedowns, if he's able to hold down Matt Brown, I think he'll have a path to victory over that with the wrestling. But no, watching him fight, I mean, you see that he doesn't really use the wrestling as much as he should. Like unless he has those moments where he's just really with it and he will wrestle. But like that one fight that he had where he got knocked out by Jeremiah Wells in the first round is like, I mean, you can't really take away much, but he got knocked out like pretty quick. Like, and it was like fuck, he got flatlined. It looked pretty bad, and you know how fighters when they come back off of knockouts, it doesn't usually look too well. So I'm not. I mean, maybe unless like Matt Brown gets like a sneaky, spin elbow, or he maybe like finds something in the phone booth. I don't really see Matt Brown getting a knockout, but I will be taking the money line just because I do see the fight dragging out to a dogfight for 15 minutes. Um, yeah, Court McGee, like literally, you could see it. Like he has the power. That's really it. Besides that, I mean, if you're expecting him to be the better kickboxer or the better, striker in this fight, just probably don't expect it. Just know that he will have that shot though. I mean, if he lands and Matt Brown falls, yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't bet it. He might even lose the first round. I'm not seeing a live bet. If you're gonna bet it, just bet Matt Brown right from the get go. because the money line's looking pretty juicy right now.
I
So
mean, both guys have nothing to lose in this fight, and Matt Brown's going to take more risks. That's the
right.
reason why I agree with you. I think that there's going to be some crazy shit that happens in this fight, and Court McGee is just not that guy that takes risks and throw. I mean, does he have athletic ability and stuff like that? Yeah, but he's a grappler, man, and he doesn't when shit starts going crazy after getting knocked out by another old guy, Wells, who I mean, obviously has some lightning in his hands. That gets to you, and who's gonna start throwing some nasty freaking elbows? So, I'm on the same page with you, man.
That's right,
Yeah.
bro.
The other thing is, bro, is in his last 9, McGee is 3-6. Matt Brown is fuck 3-6 in his last 9, bro. So like, it's rough. I will say this:
Dinosaur fights, what they should call
Matt
those.
Brown is one guy. I don't think he has like the mindset of it, but like, bro, that dude is ready to die when he goes in that cage. Like, he is fucking living in Sparta.
Especially when you're in your 40s, you're like, fuck.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He is living in Sparta. Me and Matt Brown are the same age. I assure you, that man's mindset, he doesn't give a fuck. So, yeah, I favor Matt on that. No action on this fight. No action on this fight. If I go deep, I may tail dead picks on that. But yeah, I got nothing on it. Anybody else?
Dude, you have to lay off this fight. There's just no way you can put money anywhere on this fight.
DJ.
There could be an injury. I mean,
What are you
I
talking
almost
about? You
could
ain't
see it
emptying the
not
bank
going to
on
a
Matt
decision.
Brown?
It maybe not go to a decision just because somebody's hip might fucking give out. Fucking cart.
Oh, get
Stretcher comes out on the fuck onto the field.
I'm fucking moving on from this fight. I'm fucking done. You got me. I can't fucking do it anymore. All right. So up next, Tim Means versus Alex Moreno. Speaking of old people, Tim Means 32-14, 6'2", 75 inches of reach, orthodox. Alex Moreno 22-8, 5'11", 72 inches of reach, orthodox. Both guys land around 5 significant per minute. Both guys absorb right around 4 per minute. Means averages 1 takedown per 15 minutes. Moreno, none. Alex is 4-1 in his last 5. Tim Means is 3-2 in his last 5. Means is coming off of 2 losses, 2 consecutive losses. Moreno is coming off of 1 loss. I'm trying to get what they are here for you. I was looking at all that shit on Matt Brown for no good reason. Click the fucking screen. Okay, so Tim Means is coming off a split decision after a submission loss to Kevin Holland. So both of those were last year. Holland choked him out in June, and then Griffin beat him by decision in October. Alex Moreno fought way more recently than that. December 2022, he got KO'd by Ponzinibbio, TKO'd. And then before that, he had won 3 decisions in a row and then KO'd Cerrone before that, which I'm not taking away or bagging out Donald Cerrone, but May 8th, 2021, KO and Donald Cerrone doesn't hold a lot of weight within the UFC, in my opinion.
He's a
Uh,
movie star. He's a movie
he
star.
is. I'm really fucking happy for him, too. Uh, and he's on steroids, which is really good for him. So, like, go him. I am on this fight not to go the distance. Yeah, I know Moreno goes the distance quite a bit. I just think him and Means are going to get at it. So I think this one gets finished inside the distance. Anybody else on this fight?
I would say that inside the distance, definitely not on the odds. I mean, when you look at Tim Means has only been knocked out once. He's been finished 4 times. I mean, he's more of the knockout guy. Out of his 14 UFC wins, he's got 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been submitted 4 times, and he's got knocked out once. When you look at Alex, Alex has got the same type of. He's got 11 wins and 5 losses in the UFC. He's knocked out 2, submitted 1, and went 8 to decision. And he's been knocked out twice. So for it to not go to decision is definitely against the odds.
I get it. I just think these two are going to get in there and get after it. So I'll fess up next week if I am wrong.
Finally, we have somebody in here to freaking tell us we're wrong. D-Baby hit the request button.
I think Baby's on Moreno on this fight. I think. Any fucking way. Man, I didn't figure too many people would be on this fight. I didn't. The Matt Brown fight either. Up next is all right. So finally, Carlos Alberg versus Ior Pretoria. Did I say it right?
I'll give it to you, yeah.
All right, good enough. D-Baby, what's good, bro? Baby, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's good, bro?
What's up? Yeah, I'm on Moreno.
You on Moreno submission?
Nah, I just got the money line. I got him on a leg.
I got you. Usman's on. Oh, it's Usman's got him by submission, I think, right?
Moreno.
Somebody's
Who,
got his ass
Moreno
by
or
Well, with
submission.
D-Baby in here, we got to pause. All right, pick which fights you want to talk about. We already talked about.
Shit. Well, shit. Since you brought it up, shit. Why not? Let me do the honors. Hold on. Hey, you brought it to y'all. You brought it to yourself. I just need to go back.
Oh, this
That's straight
intermission
love.
is
That's straight
okay.
love right there.
So y'all already did the Carl Williams, Carlos Uber, and
Nope, we're about to do Carlos. We did Carl Williams, bro. Everybody's on Carl
all right.
Williams.
What about y'all did Court McGee, and the other dude?
Yeah,
The
we just
other
did
dude,
Courtney.
Matt motherfucking Brown, ain't no other dude.
Hey,
Yeah, we're right, Matt Brown, bro. This is the Matt Brown train over here, bro.
I ain't mad at it.
Matt,
Mike Brown, he a live dog. Who everybody got? Levy or Pete Rodriguez?
what do you think about
No,
that Cody Stamen and Douglas
I
Silva?
just got the over on that one. I can't really tell who gonna win, so I just took the over.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, so I think the over is easy money, in my opinion.
I just see somebody doing something stupid. That's the only
So what you
part.
think? Somebody's getting finished? Is that what you're saying?
No, I feel like one of them are gonna do something stupid because their fight IQ ain't the best.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, okay. So what about Pete Rodriguez?
what you taking? The over 1.5, baby?
Nah, I didn't get that in my book. I got the 2.5. I think the 2.5 easy money too, though.
Yeah. What about that Brian Battle and Gabe
Oh,
Green?
I got battles, but I see
Yeah.
why people like Gabe Green though. I can see the vision.
But be honest, you got battled by split decision, right?
Nah. You know I can't get killed with this shit on William Hill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta either take the money.
Bro, Caesars don't play.
Uh,
Caesars don't
I
play.
can't parlay prop bets or they don't even have that shit as a prop bet. Like for me to bet a single handle, like that shit don't be popping up unless I just be missing it.
So, bro, I'm setting up odd. I'm setting up the odds on the website deal, right? So probably next week I should have it ready to tell everybody to go there. But Fucking William Hill has a book everywhere, bro. Caesars does not play. William Hill is Caesars. I'm sure you know that
I
shit.
didn't even know that, bro. I'm gonna keep
Uh,
it 100. I didn't even know that.
yeah, William Hill is Caesar's sports book. So they have a fucking book in every region you can have a book in, bro. Like them motherfuckers are getting money everywhere. Like they are the Catholic Church or some shit. They are getting
So if
paid.
they get money,
I'm
why
like,
they be bullshitting on the prop bets?
because they get money.
What? How's that make sense?
Because they I'm just saying they win, bro. Whatever they're doing, they're fucking winning. Fucking we make a big deal about DraftKings, right? We're like, DraftKings got all these lines and shit. They must be killing it, bro. They're like in 13 states. Fucking William Hill is covered in the US book, the United Europe book, the United Kingdom book, and the Australian book, bro. They're covered everywhere. You see them motherfuckers in every book. Like,
Man,
yeah, they're the only people I think that make all four books.
I see why they get money, because they be capping that shit to only the furthest, the most you can get at plus money is 72,000 at plus money. So, DraftKings, it goes past 72,000. So they be having the ceiling in they shit. So I believe it. That's why they be getting so much money.
Yeah, and plus, so some places hire their own caps, and some of these sites really do tail other sites for opening odds and shit. I don't know this for sure, but I would bet good money that William Hill has their own bookmakers because they have books everywhere. It would make sense that they are paying their own bookmakers.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
I would, yeah, I would imagine they're very firm and very fucking modern on their lines. I've talked to some other bettors that have explained it to me. Like we know that the other sites, like use them to see where they use certain sites, but then they basically just juice the lines and shit so that they can try to make money off the public essentially. uh One of the guys in the space was even telling me one time that they're basically just betting that money somewhere else and fucking juicing it or whatever. I don't know how true that is for some of these books, but someone's got to set them core lines somewhere.
That's crazy.
I assume William Hill is one of those places, bro. Dead serious. I assume they're one of them fucking places.
Crazy.
So I don't know if that works for you or not, but you cash on them motherfuckers all the time. So just stay with them.
Yeah, I'm
That's
fucking with them. So I'm too lazy to
just
sign up for
stay
another
with
book
them.
anyway. I don't be trusting these other offline. I mean, I know Bet Online and all that shit offshore, but I know that's trustworthy. But I don't know, man. I just like William Hill. It's down the street from my crib. Like you said, it's in every corner. I got William Hill in every corner by my neighborhood. So
Yeah, I bet you fucking do. I'm not even talking shit. I bet you do, bro. That shit is probably everywhere by you.
yeah.
All right. So we're on
Oh,
to,
hold on.
we're
So
finally on
so I assume everybody's on Levy, right?
Levy.
Yeah.
I thought there
So
was some people against Levy. They were too. I mean, as much. No, it was. He was saying you were taking that Rodriguez is what he was saying.
Who said?
yeah, I was
Oh,
saying that Rodriguez's fucking resume is really, really bad, bro. Like it's really, really bad. And but D Baby is on it, so it makes me wonder. I'm not playing that fight at all. So I'm not playing and I'm not parlaying and I'm not taking the over. I'm not taking the under. I'm not taking inside the distance. I'm not touching that fight.
I mean, hey man. All right, look, check this out. Yeah, it seems like Pete Rodriguez, right, is a bum, right? Yeah, for some reason, in people's eyes, they think Pete Rodriguez is a bum. Like he should be easy money for Levy. But man, if you really watch this shit, man, that nigga really got some hands. Like I don't know if he got any like grappling skills, or so that's why Levy's the favorite. He probably gonna grapple fuck him, but man, if you really watch that Jack Dilla fight, man, that he was touching up Jack Dilla. Like you gotta really like pay attention, like his combination, his setup. He was touching him up. He did better than Randy Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, he ain't no bum. I'm not saying I mean, I got faith in him, but I say this. I think it's worth a shot, whether he lose or win. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not here. I'm not finna
I
convince.
Yeah,
appreciate
you
that
ain't throwing
because
that on a parlay or anything,
Hey
are you?
man, I got shit. I'm sitting on house, man. I'm on a 3-win streak, man. It don't hurt to put him in one parlay, bros. I ain't tripping.
that's me with this D-Rod that I'm catching all this shit for, bro.
I mean, D-Rod locked
All
on too,
right. Well,
though.
I'm pulling it up right now. I'm gonna watch this, Jack Dilla.
Chill. D-Rod ain't live.
Ah, we ain't there yet. All right, next fight is Carl's Alberg versus Eor Pretoria. All right, man. I had all this shit up, then we started talking this other shit, and I dropped the ball.
We
All right.
call that the D baby time of the show.
It's intermission, bro. I just rolled the fat one. It's time to kick off the second part of the show here. All right. So Carlos is 6'4", 7 foot or 77 inches reach. Eor is 6'3", 75 inches of reach. Carlos is southpaw. In his last five, Carlos is 4-1. He lost to I don't my shit's not loading right, so I'm just gonna have to go with what I taped over for right now, boys. I just know that he is 4-1 in his last five. He lost 4 fights ago. Eor is 2-1 in the UFC. He's the dude that knocked out Shogun. Like, if you guys don't remember him, he's the guy that knocked out Shogun, but he got knocked out by Negna Mariano. So
He knocked out Ancient Artifact Shogun, not like Shogun from 10 years ago.
yeah, at the end of his career. So I actually did kind of I taped on this fight. Dead Picks did proper tape, but I did watch some tape. I'm not gonna really kill the breakdown here because I'm not gonna steal his shine because he put in the big work. But what I will say is that a Shogun 10 years younger would have fucking destroyed him. I don't care that he knocked Shogun out in the first round. A 10-year younger Shogun would have, I mean, really hurt him inside of there. Like, it would have been something that he was not prepared to fucking handle, in my opinion. And I know the game has evolved, and I know all that shit, and guys have gotten better. Fuck that. A 10-year younger Shogun would have fucking murked that man. Olberg, that dude's got some devastating kicks, and he he basically finished one guy with a 2-punch combo. He's fucking sickening. Dead Picks, what you got on tape on that, bro? Oh, I'm on Alberg. I'm on Fight to Go to the Distance, no, or Inside the Distance, whichever you want to call it. Dead Picks, what you got on tape, bro?
Yeah, same plays as you basically. Carlos is the better, what do you call, obvious kickboxer. I mean, the dude's fucking kickboxing champion, if I remember correctly. I mean, or he at least transitioned from kickboxing to MMA, whatever. He's world class. He's better than fucking Pretoria. Pretoria, he he has good power, but he rushes everything. I would like to say he rushes everything he does. He's very not sloppy, but is not as technical. I feel if he does, if if Carlos were to get knocked out, it's because it's gonna be some sloppy loop shot that he doesn't see. What do you call it? But I don't really see that happening. I think Carlos is, I think Pretoria's in for a lesson. I think simple as that. He's in for a lesson. Carlos is gonna school this kid. I mean, there's not really much he has to worry about besides the fact that, like I said, he rushes everything. Pretoria rushes everything, and he's very, you know, he has that power. So, but I'm gonna just play Carlos Ulberg. I mean, there really wasn't much to dig into this one. It was pretty quick tape, pretty straightforward. Doesn't take a blind
You
person.
can watch all the tape in 25 minutes on this fight. I'm
Yeah,
dead fucking serious. You can watch it all in like 25 minutes for both guys combined. It's fucking crazy.
really, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like everything I saw was just okay. I wasn't not impressed by Patoya, really, honestly. But then Carlos Uber, you're like, okay, yeah, this guy's gonna dog him. So, just I would say it's safe to say to put Carlos in your parlays and do not put decisions, do not put the over. This fight's ending inside the distance. So let's ride with Carlos.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Carlos though, bro, he's a guy I think's got a big future. He's that dude's got real fucking hands, real touch you and sleep you fucking power. He fought let me go because I made a few notes on it. He fought it was on the Contender series, that Oliveira. Like, bro, they were kind of just dancing around. Nothing really led up to it. And then he threw like a two-piece combo with the same hand and fucking ended the dude. It was I rewound it like 4 times. I'm like, damn.
Same thing with like Morano, dude. Like he hit him with like a jab, and then he like hit him with the same hand. What do you call it? Touches him
Yeah,
on like
bro. Like he
the
pop,
temple. It
and
was
it's not like
insane.
he pops the jab and then hits the hook. He throws the hook and then like pops the fucking jab, bro. It's crazy, and it fucking drops people. That's a special type of power where he knows he can keep his arm out, and just repop it, and knows that he can drop a guy. Like, I think this dude is gonna be something special to see. I really
Yeah,
do.
it's a builder fight for him. Honestly, he's one of the CKB boys. You know, they like those guys. They want to support Izzy's guys. So this is really just a builder fight, the way I see
Is
it.
he a CKB guy?
Yeah, he's changing. This is Izzy's boy.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, he's fought
You
like
didn't know
yeah he
that,
fought in
bro?
the fucking
You didn't. Please tell me you didn't.
Nah, I watched all his fights and shit, but City Kickboxing ain't had the greatest run other than getting that belt back, bro. That don't
nah
make me
shit.
feel good.
Hey, you put some
This
respect on
guy
my boy Kai's name, all right?
Carlos is different, bro. He's good. Carlos is good.
No, I watched it, bro. I did tape it today. And I usually, so I start off about 8, 9 o'clock on Tuesday mornings, and I pretty much, this is what I do for Tuesdays. So hours ago, I taped that fight, bro. There is no question, and to me, that it's Carlos. I know anybody on the Eeyore side will have an argument because he fights Ricci and he reaches in and yeah, I know what they'll say, but it's not gonna matter, bro. He's not gonna hit hard enough, in my opinion. So whatever. I'm definitely on Carlos. I'm definitely on the fight to go the distance. No, I mean, fuck. Even if you're not on Carlos, fight to go the distance. No, come on, that shit is a given. I'm sure it'll be negative fucking money. I'm sure it'll be negative fucking money. All right. So I'll laugh that one out unless anybody else wants to get in on it. Anybody? Anybody betting it? See, that's not right.
Yeah,
You
I'm
should
betting.
all
I'm
be.
betting it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Same
I got
Why?
name and
Carlos. I
everything.
got Carlos.
I might take Goldberg.
Yeah, for sure.
I was just about to say, bro, everybody was quiet for a minute. I'm like, if you motherfuckers aren't parlaying this guy, like, geez, like, I think you're not listening to me. I think you're not playing the game. All right. Next fight on the card is, oh shit, Ian Gary versus Daniel Rodriguez. Welterweight matchup. Ian Gary is 6'1", 74 inch, or 6'3", 74 inches of reach. Daniel Rodriguez is 6'1", 74 inches of reach. Gary is a southpaw or unorthodox. Daniel is a southpaw. Gary is 11-0. Daniel is 17-0. Gary lands at a very high clip, 6.79 strikes per minute. Daniel Rodriguez holds the UFC record at 7.42 per minute. That's for over 5 fights. Strikes absorbed per minute. Daniel Rodriguez 5.2, Ian Gary 4.1. The grappling numbers, I'm not even going to put them out there because I don't really feel like they matter. Ian Gary's had 4 fights in the UFC. Obviously, he's 4-0 in the UFC. D-Rod dropped his last one to Magny, so he's 4-1 in his last 5. Andrew did tape work on this, so go ahead, bud.
Yeah, we're not going to make this one too complicated because I figure we're probably going to argue about this. But yeah, man, I think Gary said it well earlier. I think this is the easiest route to get Ian Gary into the rankings. Daniel Rodriguez, in my opinion, has not looked very good as of late. And contrary to what Joe just said, he's actually lost his last 2 fights. I know the judges gave him the decision versus Leach. However, in my strong opinion, I don't think he won that fight. I think Leach landed the much stronger shots, and I think he won that fight. But that's neither here or there. I just think that Ian Gary,
But true.
I think Ian Gary is a matchup problem. While people say that he is flawed, I do think he is flawed. I agree. He does have the ability to get caught. He's shown it a couple different times in his career. And I think he will struggle with that when he hits the top 10. But this isn't now, or this isn't then. It's now. I think Ian Gary, one of my favorite things about him is that he stays composed. So when he does get clipped, he hangs in there. He's like, he's only had 11 career fights, but the way he fights, you would think he's had 20 to 25 fights. Like, he just fights so smart. He's got great IQ. He uses his range well. He constantly moves well. I think that's going to cause problems for Rodriguez. Rodriguez likes to move forward. However, he's going to be chasing him around. Joe mentioned he thinks he's going to be able to control the cage. I don't really think he will, but if he does, cool. He's going to get tagged up. Ian Gary does. He does counter punch pretty well. So if he's on his back foot and Daniel Rodriguez is going forward, I think Daniel Rodriguez is going to keep getting clipped by that jab. He's just going to keep eating it. And then if Ian Gary throws that right hook, I think he can put him out. Daniel Rodriguez doesn't really get knocked out. However, he almost got knocked out by like a 38-year-old Dwight Grant. And he's been caught before, so I think the ability to finish is on the Ian Gary side. If you are a Daniel Rodriguez guy, if you think he's going to win this fight, he's going to knock him out. That's the only way to win. He's not going to win a decision. He's not going to land more shots than him. That's not happening. If he catches Ian Gary with the left hook, I've said it all week. If he catches him with that left hook, knocks him out, cool, good for him. But I honestly think that's the only
Yeah,
pathway to
his last
victory for him.
fight, Gary didn't get hit with something too hard, and he looked like he got hit with a bat.
Are you talking about when Song put his ass down?
Yeah, when Gary got hit with that,
Yeah.
man, I don't know if he takes one like that from D-Rod, he might see a night.
So listen, I did deep notes on this fight because so the reason I do deep notes and I do them while I watch it and then I stop between each fight and edit them is because I feel like I retain it better for when we talk. So like just watching them isn't enough for me. So Gary doesn't have finishing instinct. He doesn't. You can argue that he does till you're blue in the face, but there's proof that he doesn't. He hurts people. He knocks them down and he makes piss poor decisions. He decided when he knocked down Gabe Green, he decided that he would grapple him. He had lost the fucking grapple, clearly had lost the clinch, clearly had been pressed against the cage and forced to circle and multiple times in the fight, clearly was not going to win any of that. And when he hurt Gabe Green, he decided that he would clinch with him. He's not smart. He did the same thing with Song. He did the exact same thing with Song. For no reason whatsoever should he have clinched with Song. He hurt Song and then fucking clinched with him and danced around it and then tried to stand up and get back like he had already given him too much time. So I don't think Gary has a finishing instinct. I think if he sends out that lightning shot, like he's strong. Like I'm not. That dude's got real punching power. And if he can find one on anybody in that division's chin, he could probably drop him. But I think Gary is likely the decision winner if you think he's going to win. or a very late, like over 2.5 knockout. D-Rod, I think if he can cut off the cage, like we seen Weeks have success doing, doesn't have to do too much, just side to side, just cut the cage off. Weeks did very, very well at it, and he was a smaller guy than Gary, much smaller guy than Gary. I think there is a path for D-Rod. I think to parlay D-Rod at plus 265 in a stacked parlay that you're trying to get somewhere like I did is a reasonable bet. Do I think it's reasonable for someone to go put $10,000 on D-Rod? No. I don't think that's a real wise bet. But yeah, I think it's very reasonable to think that D-Rod could fucking finish Ian Gary or win the first 2 rounds. Both of these guys throw tremendous leg kicks. When they connect at the thigh level, not the calf level, at the thigh level, they fucking hurt people. They change fights. Ian Gary was losing the Song fight until he landed a really nice leg kick to, I think, Song's left thigh, changed the fight. Like, they throw really nice kicks. I will stand by what I said that if one of these guys comes out and establishes the kicks, lands the harder ones, because you know what I mean? Like, even when you have 2 great kickers, if one guy can come out and land 3 of them really hard, Justin Gaethje once said, I'm 3 kicks away from changing any fight. Like, if one of these guys can come out and slow the other guy down, first dude standing still goes out. I really believe that, and I think if Gary pulls off the better leg kicks and D-Rod stands still, I do think Gary can finish him. To Andrew's credit, like I'm not blind. I just think D-Rod is live as fuck here. Anybody else betting this?
Yeah, I got Ian Gary. I got no worries.
Yeah, you got to put his girlfriend's name in there too. Make sure that's his politically correct name.
It doesn't matter. So you just got him on money line,
Yeah, I got him in a piece.
but for money line though,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
yup.
Andrew, are you betting Gary money line or KO?
Oh, I was going to tell you earlier, but I got cut off. So,
My bad, bro.
No, I'm going to take him straight up. And then I do like the over as well. I do agree with you in the fact that he can finish in the last 2.5 minutes, which is why I don't want to take him by decision, although it can be a pretty likely outcome. But I do like the over, and I do like him money line.
Now, when you say the over, Bob, are you talking 1-5 or 2-5?
2-5.
Okay, that's a different. It's a different.
I don't have 1-5 on my book.
Ever you can't even get it the day of the fight, huh? Even at MGM
Not unless it's a
here.
1-5 fight, like a heavyweight fight or something.
Oh, I got you. So you can get it on on 3-round fights, or no? This is a
Well,
3-round
it
fight.
just depends on the fight. So, like normally in a 3-round fight, the over's 2.5. However, if it's 2 dudes who are both likely to finish, sometimes you get the under 1.5. So, like usually when you have your heavyweight fights where both of them can knock each other out, or if it's like a really huge favorite with finishing ability over a big ass dog, you'll see 1.5 sometimes. But I can't just bet 1.5 on any fight like you can.
So we don't. So I'll be honest. I don't get all that shit until the day of the fight. Like that's when. But they pour in, bro. There's got to be 90 different ways to bet the fight on fight day through DraftKings. Like it's fucking insane. It's so bad sometimes. Lines are there and you know where to find them, and you can't fucking find them because there's so many fucking lines, which is really cool. But I don't know.
Dude, I wish I could
The
do it
shape.
with you, man. I wish I could use DraftKings.
Yeah. So I can't think of a good example now because I'm on the spot and I wasn't prepared. But like The problem is some of the bets are kind of the same thing, and the lines are different because they start different places and they're not bet directly down like the money lines are supposed to be bet directly down, like more action on this guy, adjust that line and back and forth. Well, there's no way when you've got 90 different fucking props that they're all being directly balanced with another prop on the other side. So, like, I don't know. It's just at some point you can find better odds on some of the exact same shit or something that's even easier to get because it's less bet. So like you got to sit there and hunt through it. I don't know. It turns me off to a lot of the areas. I'm just like, let me try to find what I'm looking for. I don't even want to read all this shit.
I think that's why we should go to the next fight.
Man, you ain't betting this fight at all, huh?
Well,
Rhino.
if I was, all I would put on would be Gary because, like Andrew said, D-Rod hasn't looked good recently. He keeps on fighting. I don't know why the hell he's doing that. He's looking like shit, and he's taking on like a new up and comer. It's not a good fight for him to take. So why do you expect him to win this fight?
Man, I'm done. I can't. You guys, I'm just, all I'm going to say is he's plus 265. If he loses, he's supposed to, fine. But if he wins, I'm going to be talking about it for a month. I just want you all to be prepared. All
Deal.
right. All right. Up next, co-main event, Johnny Walker, Anthony Smith. Light heavyweight bout. Anthony Smith is 6'4", 76 inches of reach. Johnny Walker is a massive 6'6", 82 inches reach. Both dudes land around 3 per minute. Anthony Smith absorbs at 4.37 per minute, and Walker absorbs at 2.6. And these dudes both got a gang of UFC fights. So those numbers are super legit.
Hey, don't be. Hey, I don't like the tone you're using with it with Anthony Smith's stats. All right, man. I don't like that tone, bro.
Oh, good. Then I'll be real happy about this one. Anthony Smith was born in the 1980s. And just, yeah, whatever. When the other guy was born, don't matter. I just want to throw that out there for you for his old ass. Neither guy averaged even a half a takedown per 15 minutes. But Johnny Walker averages one submission attempt per 15 minutes over many fights and has 100% takedown accuracy to this point. I don't know how many dudes he's tried to take down. So he took down Paul Craig. He took down
Paul Craig
Misha.
wants to be taken down.
Misha. He took down Roundtree. So he's only shot a few times. Man, this is a really hard fight for me because I like Anthony Smith. He's not that fucking old. I think he's if I can do the math really quick, I think he's 34 or 35. So he's not like fucking kicking the can ass old or anything. 34. Okay. But Johnny Walker is fucking huge. He looked really good in his last fight. Last two fights. I'm probably on Johnny Walker. I don't think I'm betting it. I'll bet the fight not to go the distance. Um, Anthony Smith is probably the most prolific or instinctual finisher we have ever seen fight, whether you realize it or not. The dude is a monster. As soon as he sees you hurt, he is fucking super instinctual. Um, but Walker's fucking huge, man. Like, he's fucking massive. So, and younger, and probably only a couple years younger though. 30 years old. Younger and probably stronger. I'm on Walker. What do you guys got in this fight?
Man, I ain't touching it. I'm watching as a fan.
I'm with Baby on this one.
Same. I'm not touching this.
So here's the thing, because every time a Johnny Walker fight comes up, I feel like Joe and I say the same exact thing. The same exact thing every time a Johnny Walker fight comes up. Johnny Walker does not have the greatest fight IQ. Although he has looked a lot better in his last 2 fights. If we're talking about who's going to come out with a better game plan and who the smarter fighter is, it's Anthony Smith, and there's no debate about that. At this stage of his career, I do think Anthony Smith has slowed down, and especially in his last couple fights. He just came off an injury, which scares the hell out of me. Johnny Walker's long. He knows how to use that length. I don't see him knocking out Smith, so if he is going to win, it's probably going to be a decision. But yeah, I obviously have a little bit of bias on this one. I don't know. I think it's going to be fun, but I'm not betting it.
So I will say this: win, lose, or draw, combined, they have 53. Let me check Walker really quick. 60. They have 80 fights combined, and between both of them, they have only gone the distance 8 times. Inside the distances, I think Johnny knocks him out if he clips him. Like, I think if he gets him, I do think he knocks him out.
It's just, but my thing is
Yeah.
like, who's Anthony Smith really been knocked out by? You know, like he got knocked out by Glover, but that was mostly ground game, which Johnny Walker doesn't do.
He got destroyed by Glover.
Yeah, he did.
That was
And
fucking sad.
Kalaev knocked him
That was
out.
sad to watch.
Span too.
It was a murder.
Span didn't knock him out. He
Thiago
knocked Span's
Santos.
ass out.
Listen, bro, he has been knocked out 10 times though. So like, it does happen. He's been knocked out 10 times.
Yeah, but none of that. I don't think any of that was in the. I think I looked up earlier. He's got 3 KOs in the UFC.
Okay, so in the UFC, you're saying Thiago Santos knocked him out, Glover knocked him out, and Kalaev knocked him out.
Yeah, and the Ankalaev one wasn't a knockout. That was a fucking leg injury, bro. That's what I'm saying. So it's like he's not really getting like one punch KO'd or clipped by anyone. He took a beating by Glover, but that was
Johnny
grappling.
Walker's? Is that getting Johnny Walker?
I don't think Johnny Walker's going to touch him one time and Anthony Smith's going out. I don't see that.
I bet you he hits him once pretty solid.
Huh?
And gives him sting. I bet you he hits him once for sure, and stingy legs are, drops him, and then he gets back up.
Or have you guys thought
but
about
he's going to get hit once.
Have you thought about Anthony Smith hitting Johnny Walker and Anthony Smith crumbling? Because I mean that's probably going to happen too.
Wait, say that one more time.
So here's the other thing.
So he's going to hit himself when he knocks somebody else out.
No, Deb, repeat that.
Smith has got a lot more mileage on him.
I said, what do you call it? Have you guys taken into account that maybe Anthony Smith might hit Johnny Walker and Anthony Smith might just crumble?
Yeah, I agree with you,
Johnny.
bro. Like,
so you think he gets hurt?
Yeah, he's got a lot more wear and tear on him. So.
I mean, I guess, but I would never really take that into account.
Yeah, so here's my thing: if Anthony hits Johnny and can't hurt him, then what? Like, in 30 fights, the dude's been submitted once. I know Anthony's got 14 submissions, but you could go back and find a few of them where he hurt guys and then jumped on their back. So, while he does have submission game, man, I don't see Anthony submitting Johnny, and I can see Andrew's argument that Johnny's not going to KO Anthony. So maybe just by group discussion, Walker submission, Smith KO, Walker decision probably. And I'm not saying go bet this. We're all talking it through. So I guess that would probably be the pass there, right?
Man, there's so many ways.
How you doing, fellas?
What up?
What up?
You know, I jumped in on chat this week and I said I'm taking Anthony Smith, and I can see the line going up for Smith. So I'm gonna wait until Friday, Saturday, and I'll take Anthony Smith TKO KO. That's his. I mean, shit.
So you're literally
don't bet too much. Those
You're
are the
literally
names,
waiting
bro.
for the line to move on this one, huh? So you're confident in it.
Because I can see everyone taking Johnny Walker, but I'm taking Anthony Smith, man.
Yeah, sometimes name value gets taken too, and you can kind of see that coming. It's pretty nice when
Yep.
that happens. Yeah, you can definitely see that shit happen sometimes. Okay, so unless anybody else is hopping in, we'll hit the next one here. Main event time. Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Jailton Almeida. Heavyweight matchup. These boys are both ranked. Anybody who's got something up in front of them, could you grab the rankings while I do tail of the tape here? Because I know this one matters for something. Rozenstruik is 6'2", walks at 242, 78, 78 inches of reach. Jailton Almeida is 6'3". They have him listed at 205. Is this his first heavyweight fight? No fucking way.
Nah,
No, hell no.
it's like
No.
his second. It's like his second or third.
Yeah, I think most.
Was he down in his last fight?
No, he
Nah,
just weighs in at like
Yeah, I didn't think so.
220
They
or
must
something.
just never have updated his weight class. So anyway, Rozenstruik 6'2", 78 inches of reach. Almeida 6'3", 79 inches of reach. So 1 inch and 1 inch. Jairzinho lands at 2.9 per minute. Jailton lands at 4.1. Here is a crazy ass stat. Rozenstruik absorbs at 3.2 per minute. Jailton absorbs 0.3 strikes per minute. And that is over the course of, I'll tell you how many total UFC fights. It's five UFC fights, with including his Dana White Contender Series fight. He absorbs at 0.3 strikes per minute. That is, man, he'll set defensive records if he can hold that into this next fight, where this is an official fight, because shit gets set after 5 fights in the UFC. Takedowns, Jailton Almeida 6.7 per minute or per 15 minutes. Jairzinho 0, but he's got 75% takedown defense. In his last 5, Jailton is 5-0. In his last 5, Jairzinho is 2-3. Both guys coming off a win. Jairzinho beat Is it Chris Dawkins or Kyle Dawkins?
Chris, Kyle's the
Man, I
younger
don't
guy.
actually have that right in front of me. Chris Dawkins by KO punches 23 seconds into the first after losing 2 in a row. And Jailton, well, I don't know. Jailton's looked like a fucking beast. I'm really high on the guy. He finished Shamil in his last fight. He finished Anton the fight before that. Parker Porter the fight before that. I'm very biased. I would take Jailton Almeida over many of the top heavyweights right now. Yeah, so whatever. That's who I'm on. I'm on Jailton Almeida. I'm on Fight to Go the Distance. No. What are you boys on?
she.
Out with the old and with the new. Let's go with Almeida.
What's that mean, bro?
I might have to fade the homie, man.
You're fading Almeida?
Yeah, man, I might have to. Well, I already did, man, so it's too late.
How you think it goes?
Shit, I don't know. I'm just a better man. I'm not no capital dog. I just put these bets in. Have my edge. No, I'm just fucking with you. I got my my shit be my shit be calculated, but I don't know. I think if this shit get dragged out, it's gonna be ugly for Gelton. He gotta get it. It's early for him, late for fucking Rozenstruik, whatever his name is. So that's how I see it.
I kind of agree with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn, you think Rozenstruik gets it late and Almeida gets it early?
Yeah, that's how I see it. Oh, No, see, Gelton can get it early, but Rozenstruik can get it early and late. So that's why I was like, okay, hold on, I might be on to something. So I'm gonna go with the dude that can get it early and late.
Well, I would also go with the
Man,
idea of live. I would
I
say
mean, I
it's
can't
more of a
really
live
fucking
bet.
argue with it. I mean, Almeida ain't been taken into the third. Rozenstruik's been into the third and the fifth. Lost both of them bitches, but
Hey man, those are real heavyweights. Some real heavy big boys. Gelton still. I mean, I think Gelton probably still a probably real heavyweight, low key. But
Yeah, but
people just
the question, think about the question
I think
is he going to
Jailton's
take
one
him
of the
down?
top five heavyweights, period, right now. I want to see Jailton fight Pav. That'd be
Is
a
he going
fun
to take
fight
him
for me to
down?
see.
what you gonna say underground?
I
I mean
said
Rhino.
it's all about if he's going to take him down. If Rosenstruck is down,
Rhino, you there?
yeah, you hear me?
Nope.
Oh no,
Andrew,
you
who
can't. I
you
can
on in
hear
this
him.
fight?
I can hear him. Hey Joe, I can hear him. I don't think you can hear him.
Yeah, I don't think he
Everybody
can.
left, baby. They ain't even fucking here for us, man.
No,
It's all
Nah,
right.
he was
they
just
here,
Oh,
talking
yeah,
to
bro.
he
you.
can't see nobody.
I can't hear him. I can't hear neither one of them.
Can you hear
Oh,
me?
him.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
shit.
I hear you. I hear Joe.
You
Man,
hear
hold
me
on.
though.
We have to
I
leave
think
and go
Rhino got
back
a
in.
bounce.
No, hold on. I'm just removing this speaker. This works. And then I will invite to speak. Try that, Rhino.
Hey, but Joe, you said it yourself. You seen Rosenstruck go to the fourth and fifth round. Yeah, he lost, but
All right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you
All
now.
right.
Is Andrew
So
there?
my question is, it all comes into does he get taken down? You know, if Rosenstruck
maybe,
gets
most
taken down,
likely.
it's a live fight, and you totally know he's going to lose if he makes that grappling look easy.
Yeah, pretty much it's over with.
So that's why it's a
But I'm
live bet.
saying,
But
like,
The fuck you taking me off speaker for?
So I could hear you again.
I wasn't saying
That's the
anything.
that's why he couldn't hear
Oh,
you.
I thought I couldn't hear both of you
No,
guys,
you
bro.
asked me. You said, "Is Andrew here?" And then Rhino was talking, so I just threw a thumbs up, and then you fucking removed me.
I had to I thought I was correcting the problem twice. Fucking man, I just so I think he gets the takedown. I think he gets him to the ground, and I think he finishes him. Like, I'll be honest, if Almeida wasn't minus 5 fucking 60, I probably put my whole account on him, bro. Like, and I don't do that shit. I'm being very serious, bro. If I could get him at like minus 200, I probably take everything I got in that account. It's only like $500. Like, it's not like it's fucking big dollars. It's just short of $500. But I probably dump all that shit on his ass right now. Like,
I mean, don't get it twisted. I might look at a play for Delta. I just think I don't know, man. I just feel like some weird shit gonna happen. But I'll be happy to be wrong just for y'all niggas. So y'all can whatever you
yeah,
do.
as long as everybody
Hey,
finds some way,
that's
I'm
fine.
not mad. I don't have a single play that I've said I'm gonna play that ruins my whole night. If any of you guys do, I'm very sorry. But like, don't do that. Don't put one guy in all your parlays. Don't put one play in all your parlays. What I've been doing is if I put a person in a parlay, I won't put them in another parlay. I might put their fight in a parlay inside the distance without a side or some shit like that. But I'm not parlaying the same shit twice. I haven't been doing it in a while, and it's reinvigorated my betting. Like, I was doing small shit, fucking around because I went on a skid there, and then kind of built it back up a little bit, and then made just a few bets last week with that rule. And man, I did lose two of them, but because I followed that rule, third one still cash. So, and I mean that because there was shit where like the pick didn't cash, but the prop in the other whatever, it worked out for me. So I don't know. Ain't no play in here gonna crush me. So I hope everybody cashes. I swear to God, like the fuck do I care? I don't want nobody to lose no goddamn money. The books though, shit, I've been to Vegas. That shit is amazing. Losers paid for all that shit. Downtown Detroit got some big ass casinos. Losers paid for all them shits too. So fuck that. Get it back. Fucking I don't know. What's everybody's 3-leg parlays? Throw them out there. 3-leg parlays everybody's playing.
The over in the girls' fight as a first leg.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm gonna take Almeida Rozenstruik inside the distance, Walker Smith inside the distance, and then I will probably go Means Moreno inside the distance. If I don't add the Means Moreno, I will add the Carl Williams Chase Sherman inside the distance. It will be one of those two, plus the Almeida and the Walker fights, and then I'm going to go over 1.5 on the Boom fight, with over 1.5 on the Battle fight, with over 1.5. What was the one Baby gave me in the Stamen fight? So I'll definitely play all those. But I mean, I doubt any of them are going to be that shit that turns $25 into $1,000. But shit, realistic, like I hit 25 for 400 last week. Shit, I'm not mad at that.
Hey,
Oh
what's your
yeah,
D-Rod play?
good cash, man.
Playboy?
I already played it. I posted it in the
Got
fucking
your
group.
ass.
What's
I
the
posted
underdog
it in the
parlay you
group,
got,
bro.
Joe?
You ain't see it?
I definitely saw it.
So I got D-Rod. It's Laboa, D-Rod, D-Rod, Almeida, Williams, and Allberger.
And who?
Allberg. What I say? Allberger? Allberg. Carlos. So it's Carlos, Almeida, Carl Williams, Lisboa, if I say it right at the beginning, and then D-Rod. That's the
Bro, you're
playoff.
gonna be sick when you go 5 for 6.
There's five. There's only 5 there. So if I hit 5, I'll be a happy guy. Cade, how you doing, bud?
What's up, bro? I got a parlay.
What you got?
I'm gonna go with Stamen. I'm gonna go with Johnny Walker. I think Anthony Smith's washed. I think Walker gonna knock him out. To be honest, I'm gonna go with Almeida. Unless he throws that kick and that fucking unless he throws that stupid ass kick and gets caught. But I think Almeida should beat him. And I'm sorry, bro. Ian Gary's gonna bust D Rod up, bro. Like, what does D Rod have for Ian Gary? To be honest, man. Like, realistically, like Ian Gary is just such a better striker, way more technical. Like, I'm not hating on Daniel Rodriguez either. I like Daniel Rodriguez, but like, what does he really have for that kid?
Let's go.
Bro, way more technical striker. What have you ever seen Ian Gary do
Yeah,
except
but
for
even if you watch,
bounce in and
yes,
out, get yelled
but
at
hold
by his
on.
corner for being hesitant and scared?
Even if you watched Ian Gary's last fight, he added one specific thing to his game that was just so nice, and it was his different kicks he was throwing. Those kicks. What are they called? The straight kicks to the knees. He was throwing those. I mean, he was throwing all different types of kicks. He looked real good. The only thing that he fucked up was that he didn't think that the dude was gonna counter him uh when he was up against the cage when he got caught. But other than that moment in the fight, he beat the shit out of that dude.
Out of Yeah, bro. But okay, so I taped him today, bro. So Gabe Green, he couldn't finish Gabe Green. Gabe Green was able to hold him against the fence, proved Ian Gary's got no clinch game. You got Darren Weeks, who was able to cut off the cage. His fucking corner was yelling at him to cut off the cage. Bisbing and fucking DC were talking about how he just continuously cuts off the cage on Ian Gary. Then you've got the Song fight. Song was whooping his ass until Gary landed the good thigh kick to the left thigh. Song was whooping his ass, dropped him, almost had him finished at the end of the first, won the whole first round, hands down. No fucking question, won the first round. Song was whooping his ass. I did say that they both got really nice leg kicks, and whoever can establish the leg kicks wins the fight. I also did post some shit earlier that D-Rod, or since D-Rod has been in the UFC, he has the exact numbers are not in front of me, Cade, but he has landed 92% of his leg kicks at 100 and something leg kicks thrown, right? I think he's landed 170 of 186 thrown in his 10 fights. Ian Gary, if I'm doing this off memory, Ian Gary has only evaded 18 out of 100 leg kicks thrown at him. And he hasn't checked a single fucking one. There's one in one fight in the UFC that you could argue he checked where he raised his knee as a front kick got thrown. He has not checked a single kick in 4 fucking fights. So D-Rod, he averages on average, Gary gets like 11, or Gary's had 11 kicks thrown, or Gary averages 25 kicks per fight. D-Rod throws like 17 per round or something. So D-Rod's kick volume, as long as he establishes the kick, will definitely slow Gary down. If he can kick the thighs before Gary kicks the thighs, Gary will not be able to bounce in and out. And if Gary can't bounce in and out, D-Rod will knock his ass out. I'm a believer in that. I'm not saying bet the house. I will say this again. He's in $120 parlay, bro. Like, he's one play
Yeah,
in $120 parlay.
I just think like I'm not saying your points aren't valid. I just think Ian Gary's gotten better and added something to his game every single time he fights. And the kid is young. He's got so much more room for growth. I just feel like this is his breakout fight, bro. Like I really do. I think like I'm not. If Daniel Rodriguez beats him, it's not going to catch me by surprise. Like I know I said Ian Gary's a lock. It won't catch me by surprise if Daniel Rodriguez was to pull it off. I'm not saying Daniel Rodriguez is some bum. He can't beat this kid. I just don't personally see him beating this kid. I think the kid's too good. I think he's a better striker. I mean, the leg kicks could play a part of it. You could be right about that. I don't know, but that's just my play. I just have a lot of faith in Ian Gary, man. I feel like every time he steps in the cage, bro, he gets better.
Yeah, I thought that too. And then Song whooped his ass till he hurt Song's leg. So I don't know, bro. Like, I don't have so I watched his fights in order. I watched the Jordan Williams, and then I watched the Darren Weeks, and then I watched the Gabe Green. And I actually felt the same way. Honest, I was like, man, this kid's pretty good. He's getting better, and he's getting better at bouncing in and out. Even though his fucking corner yells at it for him, and they want him to be more aggressive. But bro, Song had his number. He ran from Song until he hurt Song's leg, bro. Like, he was trying to get away from him. So I don't know. To your
Bro,
guys' credit, D-Rod has looked fucking sloppy. He has looked fucking sloppy in the second half of the fight
Yeah,
yo,
he
lately.
keeps
D-Rod is
fighting.
going to try blocking one of those high kicks that Ian Gary throws, and he's going to break his fucking arm. Watch.
That's
So
not
why you going for D-Rod then if you know you be slappy and shit?
early in the fight. He's not late in the fight. I'm saying in the second half of the fights, he's been sloppy. But like, bro, I think he'll cut the cage off. I think the side to side. Ian Gary, you go watch the tape right now. Ian Gary, anybody at will can make him because he bounces away. He tries to evade by staying away. He's not a guy that's like fighting distance. He actually tries to stay away from his opponent. It's not distance. He never establishes distance. You will not find one fucking fight until he hurt Song's leg
I'm
where he
I'm
actually
just
established
I
distance.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's like to me, like I can't even make a case for Song when he got outstruck 127-55.
Bro, but that's after the leg got hurt. When you say he got outstruck 127-55, bro, in the first round, Song outstruck him 22-15, but fucking dropped him and really almost finished him. Song had his ass, bro. Ian hurt his leg, and everything changed after that moment. Everything changed after that moment, bro. By the last round, Song was trying to bounce up and down in place to get the circulation in his leg going. He couldn't move forward. He couldn't move backwards, bro. Like, credit to Gary. Gary hurt him. Big credit to Gary. He hurt the leg. But, bro, Song had him with the hands. Song had his ass with the hands until Gary was able to stop him from fucking moving. So like, and then, you know, like, not to just hammer the Song fight home, because other guys have been able. Gabe Green held him against the fence, close distance. Not, he couldn't hold it like that, but he was able to do it successfully a lot, actually. But Gary would evade, and then Gabe would do it again for another 60 seconds, and then Gary would break out. Darren Weeks controlled the cage, even though he got outstruck, bro. Like, I don't know. I think
I
Gary's
mean,
really good.
I mean, dude, I'm not gonna sit here and hate on somebody for betting Daniel Rodriguez, especially because you're not gonna be the only one that does it. I mean, Daniel Rodriguez is a name when you see plus
Like two
240
other guys are
underdogs.
gonna do it.
You can, he's worth taking a flyer on, and I'm not hating on it. I just, I don't know, man. Gary was one of my locks this week, and I did start watching some stuff on it, and it wouldn't surprise me if Daniel Rodriguez's experience ended up getting the best of Ian Gary in this fight, but I'm still sticking with Ian Gary. I really think this is his breakout fight. That's just my opinion. I think the new wave of these young stars are just starting to come through, and
But
to be
what
honest
makes it
with
his
you, man,
breakout
I'm kind
fight?
of excited.
I'm not challenging you in any way, saying you're wrong. I'm asking you legitimately, what makes it his breakout fight, though? Like, Song,
Isn't Rodriguez ranked?
15.
Yeah, like what I mean, I guess when I say breakout fight, it's just and Gary's not ranked yet, right?
No, no, no.
So like when I say breakout fight, like I just think this is where Gary cracks himself into the top 15 and starts pushing his way through the rankings, in my opinion. Now, if you want to start talking about Ian Gary's flaws when he starts cracking top 10 and stuff like that, like I think yes, and Daniel Rodriguez, to his credit, is he's not a bad fighter, but I think once he cracks the top 15, if you want to talk about his flaws, and he's gonna have some troubles if he doesn't fix some things, absolutely. But that's any young fighter, and you could be right. It could be the Daniel Rodriguez teaching him about these flaws he has, and I'm just not seeing it. But I mean, I pick my pick's Ian Gary for that fight, but I think when I say breakout fight, I just mean break into the rankings.
Yeah, there's some fights he could maybe pull off in the top
What other
15.
locks you got?
Who are you asking, Cade?
He's main
Yeah,
event Cade. Main event Cade. 4-0.
Hey, hold on. So
let's
y'all
hear it.
think Ian worth that price tag?
Yeah,
Oh no, Joe. So you haven't been in the group chat, obviously, but the last like 6 main events, the entire group has picked. Most of the group, I would say 80% of the groups picked one fighter, and then I picked the other one, and I've ended up being like 6-0. So that's why they're calling me that. But no, I just said Johnny Walker and Almeida,
I
but
didn't
that's
hear
got
you.
it.
only for main event fights. Like everybody was on Cejudo, and I picked my last minute pick. I was like Aljamain, and they're like you're fucking tripping. I was like, nah, dude, Aljamain's gonna get his ass, and then Aljamain won, and everybody was just quiet, bro, because every single person bet Cejudo.
Oh,
Hey, it
I
was
stayed
kind of
away
a
from that
robbery,
fight.
but
Yeah, it
Did
was a
you have
close
that as a
goddamn
robbery,
fight. That should have had a 6th round. They should have done some
That
overtime.
was
Joe?
not a
Did you have that
robbery.
as a robbery?
No, that was
No,
that was
not at
out
all.
clear
No,
No
outshot.
I
way.
Yeah,
had it.
super close
I
fight.
you know what? I'm not even trying to sound like a dick. I had it 4-1 Aljo, but if you want to say 3-2, that's cool.
I
Nah,
mean,
see, so I think Aljo won the first and the fourth distinctively. Cejudo won the fifth, and Cejudo could have won that fight 3-2, and there'd be no argument. And Aljo winning it 3-2, there's just really no argument.
yeah, but if
I do think
Cejudo
the
wins,
first, the second, and the third, you could have gave both of them rounds to either fighter, and there's just not much of an argument for it. So I think Aljo got the favor. Henry didn't go out there and establish it. I said this earlier. Definitively, Henry won 1 round. Definitively, Aljo won 2 rounds. So, I mean, that tells you right there, in my opinion. That tells you right there.
I think the 2nd round was Henry's with ease. That was 1-1 going into the third.
Yeah, but dude, if you look, I mean, I'm not. You,
Not
it's
the
kind of like
paper
you have to
shit.
watch the fight and stuff like that, which what we all did, obviously. But like, You can't, like I was telling, I think it might have been the group chat I was talking to, or maybe my dad, somebody, I remember saying this too. If you look at the striking numbers per round, you can't look at the numbers and be like, Henry won that. Like, I think one
Well, that's
round,
paper.
yeah, but one round, dude, he got outstruck like 41-15. Like, you just can't do that and expect to get the decision on the scorecards.
Yeah, but all the strikes he got was like in clinch. Like they were like
But
grappling.
Nah,
it
he didn't
doesn't
get
matter, man.
outstruck 41 to
It doesn't
15.
matter, bro. When you go to the scorecards and you're trying to
Nowhere.
take the belt from the champion on the scorecards, that doesn't look good. It doesn't
All
matter how
right,
you
I
put
got
it.
it. I'm saying I'm on UFC stats. Second round, Henry with 31 out of 53. Sterling with 29 out of 55. Both hit each other in the head 10 times.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's
Body 11 to 7. Leg kicks, Henry landed 14 to 8. 29 to 28 from the distance. 2 for 2 in the clinch, 1 for 2 in the clinch from Sterling. So, I mean, on the books, freaking Henry won the second round on paper. The only thing he didn't win in was body shots.
yeah, that was a close one though. So Henry landed 31 of 53 significant strikes, and Eljo landed 29 of 55 significant strikes. And every strike landed that round was a significant strike. Both dudes 0 for 2 on the takedowns. Yeah. See the reason I think that the third round could have been Henry's. Dude, Eljo shot a whole bunch of takedowns. Henry kept stuffing him. Even though
Thank
Eljo
you.
did squeeze out a few more strikes, like, bro, I've scored. This isn't the first time I've said this. When you shoot a bunch of takedowns and they get stuffed, I think that should be scored against you. I've said that a bunch of times.
You know why that third round might have went to Aljo, though? He landed at 89%. That's good.
Yeah, so like I've been talking about that lately is visuals, right? Like you got to start. I'm starting to really try to understand the cage side visual. Like I'm not there, but I'm listening to the people that are there. Like 90 out of 100 media people that were present scored it for Eljo. Verdict, the mass majority of 10,000 people or whatever they have scored it for Henry.
Yeah.
So like the perspective there is different. So like I've said, like when I was watching Ian Gary's tape earlier, something that I actually noted in my physical notes was Gary is smart because he'll win the last minute of a round. Gary's had a bunch of really slow rounds where not a lot happens. Both guys just kind of fucking pitter patter each other, couple sharp shots that make the audience go ooh, but no one really gets rocked. But then he pours it on in the last 30 seconds or the last 45 seconds, sometimes even the last 20 seconds. And visually, those judges remember that when that round ends. It was a slow round and then he poured it on. Even if it wasn't the most success, like that shit is getting these guys rounds. So like, I don't know. I just think that that's something to try and consider when you're looking at it. So in ring or in arena, Eljo landing at a clip of 89% in the third round, bro. Yeah, it probably did look really fucking great. Like there's not much argument with that. It probably looked fucking phenomenal. I'm trying to see. So and only 7 of those were thrown in the clinch. So that shit was worked. Even if you didn't watch the fight at range, that shit was worked.
Well, I watched my bedtime and it's here. So I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your
Rhino,
shitty
always.
ass card.
Deuces right now.
It's always good talking to you, bro. We'll catch up next week.
Anytime. It's going to be a senior center this week. I'll just be selling fucking dentures and hearing aids at this goddamn card.
You can get the Matt Brown alert button for your.
Without a doubt. Hips are getting broken this weekend. Later, guys.
Later.
Deuces.
I want a UFC fighter to be on the ground like Conor McGregor and get the mic and say I've fallen and I can't get up. Some of you guys aren't old enough to know why that would be funny. So fuck you guys, but it's funny to me. Anyways, here's one. So Aljo can beat Sean O'Malley. Scratch it or bet it. Like, you guys think? So that's the fight, right? So who
He's
wins
minus
that fight?
200. Aljo.
Don't know, pile in there on the mic. Is Zaza talking?
You can't hear me?
Zaza, are you speaking, bro? Ah,
I can hear
Yeah,
him.
he was.
shit. I removed him from the space on accident. Someone invite his ass back. I meant to remove him from a speaker and then put him back as a speaker.
To your topic though.
Hey, y'all niggas can hear
Oh,
me?
Yeah. I accidentally just removed Zaza from this fucking
Can't hear me.
space.
I don't know
I
why the
can
shit.
hear you, baby.
Oh, you can hear me? I bet.
Yeah, I think this space is shot, bro. I can't really hear. I accidentally removed Zaza. I can hear you. Is anybody else talking?
could you hear me? I was talking.
I can hear
Okay.
you. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I think Aljo can easily beat Sean O'Malley, but we'll see how that goes.
Um, yeah. I mean, I've thought that for a while, to be honest. I don't think Aljo has a very hard time with Sean. I don't know why this fight's being built up to be any. I
Hey,
don't know.
hey, yo, Joe, hey, hold on, cause I know that nigga K be sliding in and out and shit. I was gonna ask, hey, yo, K, who you got, Devin Haney or Loma?
Ooh.
Yeah, that nigga gone. See, I told you that
Okay,
nigga
he's trying to get back on the mic.
he be sliding in and out and shit. I wanted to catch him.
My bad, my phone died.
You hear me though? Did you
Yeah,
hear me?
what'd you say?
Who you got, Haney or Loma?
I think Haney's gonna whoop his ass.
Whoop his ass.
Like, did Loma
Like
really
one
look?
sided?
But real talk, real quick, because I know we're off topic. But did Loma really look good his last fight? No.
I mean, he ain't look bad either. He just,
Yeah,
I think the
not
nigga
gonna
was just
beat
lit.
Haney. That's the thing. Everybody keeps trying to find a spot to fade Haney. You're gonna keep looking for that spot because he's gonna whoop Tank's ass too.
What, nigga? You crazy, nigga? Like, I'm not looking to fade Devin Haney. I just think Loma a top dog
Bro,
too.
I'm
That's all
telling
I'm
y'all, bro,
saying.
y'all gonna all bet Tank. I'm gonna be betting Devin Haney. I swear, bro. I'll be
Yeah,
on the
I
right
guarantee
side.
I'm a bet 10. That's another 10 band bet. Guaranteed. That's guaranteed money.
I think
Baby, I never wish for you to lose 10 bands. Don't do that shit.
Haney beats Loma by split.
Take a lock against Devin and Shakur.
How many rounds is that fight? 12?
Yeah.
Loma and Haney?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Bro, Haney wins that shit 11-1.
Ooh.
Bro, Loma ain't no scrub.
Okay,
My
I
bad,
can't
Joe.
I can't disrespect Loma that bad. 10-2.
I don't care.
10-2.
10-2. That's still disrespect, bros. I say 7-5 either side or 8-4.
Hey baby, just let's find a time for you to come sit down. Class will be in session. I'll teach you about boxing.
Trust me, bro. I be cashing them boxing tickets, dog.
No, I'm just fucking with you. I really do think Haney wins like 8 rounds of that fight, though. At least minimum.
Yeah, 8-4. Yeah, 8-4. I can see that, but you saying 11-1?
Eight
Come on, bro.
minimum, but I'm really going 10-2. I think Haney wins 10-2.
10-2. You crazy? Hey, man, if it go 10-2, I'll give you your props. You know more than me.
Bro,
Actually, I do want to say this though before you move on, Joe. I'm not gonna make any excuses because I've seen excuses all over Twitter, and I'm like, The only excuse I'll say is it must be hard on your body to cut weight 3 times in like 3 months. But Bilal did easy work. I did not see Bilal putting the work in like that, but that shit was nice. Low key, I gotta give Bilal my respect.
Facts.
bro, he's gonna beat Kobe or Leon. That shit is easy work.
I think Colby's a tougher fight for him just because of the wrestling background aspect of things, and the pace that Colby fights at too kind of matches it. But I think Leon, like low key, I think Bilal might be able to beat Leon, and I never wanted to ever say that come out of my mouth because I never thought that'd be true. But like his fighting style might be perfect for that match. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. So I think Leon at this point for Bilal is easy work, but everybody thinks I'm such a Bilal
Well,
mark that
I'll say this, Joe. We may never even really know because, like, I mean, I I'm different than everybody. I don't even think Leon makes it past Colby, bro. I think Colby's the best welterweight in the division.
I agree.
yeah, I think Kobe's gonna give him I think that's gonna be rough for Leon. Um I think like there is a world where Leon could pull a knockout, like it could happen, but fuck, probably not likely. Kobe probably gets the belt. I think Bilal can beat Kobe because Kobe is pillow fist. Like I want to be clear, Kobe is really good, but he's a Max Holloway. He's
Yeah,
pillow
but
fist.
what's his coach's name?
I don't know, Mark Henry.
American Top Team and joined his new camp. I'm not saying he's added power to his hands, but his hands have gotten better.
Listen,
No,
man, I
all
gotta
I'm saying
interject here.
is like in the picture of if Kobe were to win a round, I'm not worried that he will KO Bilal. You understand what I mean? Like
Oh
that's all
yeah,
I'm
he's not
saying.
knocking out Bilal or Leon in any world.
That's my point. So like, unless for some reason he can just super manhandle Bilal, which I don't see, I think he I think he walks away with probably 4 rounds.
Thomas, I know you have your hand up, man, so you can go. I just want to say this last thing. I think what is tough for fighters against Colby is the pace, the constant pace and pressure that he could fight at and do it for 5 rounds without even taking a deep breath.
I agree with that. Um, I agree with that quite a bit. But what I'm trying to see Kobe's last fight. I don't have him up in front of me. Okay, whose decision was the fight before that, and then he beat Woodley before that. But 5 rounds, 5 rounds, 5 rounds, 5 rounds, 5 rounds, 5 rounds, 3 rounds, 3 rounds, 3 rounds, three
Yeah, he
rounds,
not
three
he
rounds.
Colby's never been a finisher like that, man. It's just he's a decision machine, but that's just because he could fight at a certain pace and his cardio will keep up with him.
Yeah, that all changed quite a bit at a certain point for him too, bro. Like that shit worked up, but probably I'd say the big turn point was that I remember visually seeing it. He beat the fucking brakes off of Robbie Lawler, bro. He beat the shit out of Robbie Lawler. And then from that point forward, like he had already had a good tank, but like, man, he fucking what are the numbers? 179 to 78, he outstruck Robbie Lawler, bro. He beat the shit out of Robbie. That was for the in. No, that wasn't. Who'd he get the interim title for beating? Who was that? Woodley? I don't remember who he got that for. I'm not gonna go fucking look.
He beat the Sanjas.
So he defended the interim title against Lawler, or they stripped him of it and made him fight Lawler. I don't really
Yeah,
remember.
he got stripped because I think he wouldn't defend it or some shit.
And then he fought Usman in his next fight after Lawler. I got it. Yeah, I think Leon versus Kobe will be a good fight to watch. All right, you guys were talking boxing a little bit, so Like, fuck all the fanboy shit. Like, what are the
Yo,
chances?
I got one question though. I got one
Yeah. Oh,
question.
I'm so sorry, Thomas. Get it, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You gotta just
So are we?
interrupt, man.
Yeah. Are you 100% sure that Bilal will beat Leon? Did you watch the first fight?
I
Because
think he
Leon
fell
was pissing
asleep.
him up, bro.
Oh, bro, you talking about when Leon cheated to get out of the fight?
Man, Leon was pissing him up, man.
Oh, bro, Leon cheated. He didn't want to fight no more.
Joe, Joe,
Listen,
what's
Joe.
the
Go
name of that
watch that
strain that
fight.
you're smoking, bro? Because I
No,
want some.
Leon was having his
Yeah,
way. Leon was having his
he was
way.
having his. Go watch
Yeah.
that fight, Joe. Leon's gonna piss up
Bro, I don't hear this nigga.
Bilal in the second fight, bro.
That was pre-coach Khabib for starts, and it was like,
Before you say anything,
You know what?
Leon's actually
listen,
gotten
bro,
better since then.
listen. Leon Edwards landed 19 punches to 8 punches in one round. Like, it's not
Y'all
like
just need to look at. It's like
it's
this. I've
not.
given
Hold on,
Joe.
it's
I've
not like it's not
Did you
like.
watch the fight, Joe? Did you watch the
Yeah,
fight?
I
no,
did
hold on.
actually
Okay.
watch that
I've
fight.
given Joe plenty of shit about Bilal Muhammad. Y'all gonna let him have this Bilal Muhammad at least for 1 week? Shit.
No, I don't. I already had
Nah,
it.
man.
Bilal is
Nah,
about to
when
be
he's
the
talking
champion,
big game
bro.
like this, hell no. This guy
No,
thinks
if
that this man is going to be a fucking champion? No, I'm not. No.
Well,
I draw
first
the
of all,
line
Listen,
there.
he ain't gonna
if
get
listen. Here's
if
what I'll say.
okay.
Since these spaces started, I've had to hear that Luque was gonna beat Bilal. That was not real. Then I had to hear, oh my God, the heavens opened up and everybody was gonna shut up Bilal Muhammad because he was horrible, and Sean Brady was just gonna manhandle this man. He
I
was
bet
gonna
Bilal in
show
that fight.
he was gonna show a new pedigree of whatever the motherfuck people said, right? That wasn't true. Then finally, Gilbert Burns. I think the quotes I heard was, "There's levels to this." I think those were the words. If I went back to listen, there's levels to this, and Bilal's gonna learn that there's levels to this. There are
Can
levels to this, and you boys are
can
gonna
can
learn that Bilal
can
is
we
top
be
fucking
fair
tier.
though? Can we be fair though? And it is about choices because Gilbert made the choice. But no fighter should be cutting weight as many times back to back like Gilbert did this year. That is insane. Like, I'm not even taking away from Bilal. I said no excuses, but Gilbert Burns literally cut weight 2 weeks in a row, and then fucking be prior to that, what was it, like a month? He cut weight the month before. It's like, bro, you can't do that to your body, bro. You won't be the same. There's only so many times you can do that, or your body's not going to be the same. It's not going to recover the same. I am willing to bet that his shoulder injury had something to do with his body not having enough time to recover between fights.
Yeah, so I'll be honest. The reason that I'm not really mentioning any of that is not because I don't want to blindside it. They haven't really made it clear what caused the shoulder injury yet at all.
It was the first takedown in the fight, they said.
Okay, so then Bilal injured his shoulder. What?
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is I'm willing to bet that that was more likely to happen because his body did not have enough time in between fights to recover. He pushed himself too hard,
So I get what you're
which I
saying.
have respect for. But I'm just saying your body can only realistically, the human body can realistically only take so much when you're cutting weight and shit. And I've met Gilbert Burns, and I'm pretty sure you have too, maybe Joe, at Fight Week. I mean, he's a pretty big dude.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. For me, I need to know how big he was getting in between. If
When I met him, he looked at least 205,
was that
guaranteed.
between was that this year between some of these fights?
That was last year when I met him.
Yeah, so I get that, but like what I want to know is how big did he get? Because he's fighting at 170. If he
Okay,
never got
so
bigger than 186, which is water weight in a
I met
meal,
him. I met him exactly 1 month after he fought Chimaev.
so you're thinking between the Neil Magny fight and the Jorge fight, he probably got big.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. I'm not saying this fight. I think he may have stayed within the 185 range for this fight. But when I
Yeah,
met
he
him,
had
he
to have.
looked a good 200 pounds at least.
It was 4 weeks fight to fight. He had to have. There's no way there's no way he got too out of shape and then made that. I don't think that. But I'll be honest, I don't see how the fight went much different for him either way, bro. Like Bilal was gonna just do what he did. Like I know people, and all right, here I want to give Thomas his credit because he was on the mic here and he said it. Bilal was losing that fight 1 round. He lost the first round of the fight. Um,
To Gilbert?
no, to Leon, but it's still hard, like I'm still gonna defend Bilal on that. Leon fucking cheated to get out of the cage with him. I'm gonna stick by that shit. Like that's who I
Well,
am.
I don't even think we're
Um,
going to have to worry about the whole Leon and Bilal thing yet because I don't think he gets past Colby. That's just my opinion. And I've actually said that during Kamaru Usman's reign, that if Kamaru Usman was not champion, that the champion of the welterweight division would be Colby Covington. Until somebody proves that to me, I think Colby's going to beat Leon. And I think I, I think honestly, man, people called me fucking crazy and delusional, and I probably am. But I honestly thought Colby Covington might have won the last fight against Usman. After the first 2 rounds, I felt like it was Colby's fight.
uh, yeah. So I'm not gonna argue with you on that. What I don't know. I guess like so. Here, I'll be so as a Bilal Muhammad fan, right? Here's the shit part that I see for him, and like I'm not really like I don't care. We're in a space, whatever, but I'm not really at all what you would consider like a woke person. I'm not anti any of that. I just don't give a shit about any of it. Just treat people how you want to be treated. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Fucking rest will work itself out. I live firmly by like that type of simple shit, right? But I do come from a Muslim Arab majority area. Um, like largest community outside of the Middle East, city councils, school boards, Arab and Muslim. And then obviously, as everything spans out, it thins out. And I will say, Arab men have a hard time getting liked by people outside of the Arab community. And if he fights Leon Edwards, he's the bad guy. Everybody loves Rocky, right? And Bilal is still the shit character and whatever. If he beats Leon, he probably gets a little shine, um, and maybe could build from there. If he fights Kobe, though, Kobe's gonna play that fucking shtick, which is it's what he's gonna do. We can
Yeah,
like it.
he's definitely gonna attack that.
Yeah, bro. And the
I'll
chances are Bilal's going to bro, he's going to receive a lot of fucking hate bullshit for it. And he's going to be like the hated fucking champion. And bro, he's a really nice guy. Like he's
Well,
a
I'll
really
say
nice
this too.
person.
I did say I didn't even finish what I was gonna say earlier because I lost train of thought. But I'll say this. With that being said, with Gilbert Burns and the weight cutting issue that I said, like even when he took that fight on 2 week notice, I still stuck by my pick. I thought Gilbert is just a dog and he was gonna get it done. But I did think about the weight cut issue. But let's not take away from the fact that that ankle injury that Bilal had was actually 110% true. He fought on that hurt ass, swollen ass ankle, and that's
Well,
facts.
and so like I just said, I am from an area with many Arabs, right? Bro, he really was fasting. Like it's
Yeah,
not
he had
like
the Ramadan thing.
yeah, Ramadan is a real thing and it's taken very seriously and they do not eat sun up to sundown. Like it's yeah, like it's not I'm not making any a hard knock story. No, he took the fight just like Gilbert took the fight. But what I'm saying is it's so where Gilbert keeps coming down, Bilal was just down. He was not in a typical mass. Like if you've ever worked out or anything like that, you can hit the gym for a month and you just feel different, right? Like your body just feels a little different. It doesn't mean you look all jacked or, you know what I mean? But like it's different. So like he couldn't be training to those capacities um, and to those levels during Ramadan. So like, I mean, dude came in there and he did what he was supposed to do. I like that Dana said he gets the title shot after the title shot, but when the fuck is that gonna be?
It's gonna be in well, that's a good question, man, because they were hoping that Leon would take the fight in July or June against Colby. That way that they could do the title fight in Abu Dhabi for him, for Bilal and the winner of that. But I don't think that that's going to play out because I don't realistically think that this fight's going to happen until at the earliest Boston, maybe.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I think there is a card that involves Islam, Chimaev, and Bilal is going to pass on his title fight shot in Abu Dhabi to get on.
I was going to ask you, did you guys go through the whole card? Because I know I showed up late.
Yeah, we fired off the whole card in about 2 hours. We've been down to about 2 hours.
I actually, if we're off the Bilal topic, I actually have one good topic that I could bring up, and I feel like it would be a good discussion.
Yeah, but so remember it because I want to ask you, did you get to talk to John Morgan, bro?
So the streaming fucking shit was down.
I
So
was
me and
trying to
him,
listen before I opened. Like, I kept trying to load it up,
yeah, I was
bro.
fucking very irritated about
Did you
it. But
see
me,
one person waiting? I was waiting, bro, because I wouldn't leave until I had to leave. I
I
tried.
didn't see it. The streaming site was really the streaming site that we use that streams to YouTube was acting very stupid today. So what me and John decided on is that we'll probably reschedule it for next Tuesday, which is fine. But I was really irritated because I had it all prepared, my interview prepared for him for like a week.
Man,
So
that fucking sucks.
yeah, but I mean he's such a nice guy, man. We're gonna get it done, so I'm not worried about it. But it just sucks because I promoted it. I was at work looking forward to it, and then the streaming website was just down.
So every year before I go to fight week, I've met John, I've tagged John, and he's interacted. I've DM'd with John, like he's a really nice guy. But I just tag him every year and tell him I'll buy him steak dinner if he'll just sit down and talk MMA with me for steak dinner at fight week every year. And that fucker never gets back to me. I mean, I'm not mad at him, but like I fucking John Morgan is in MMA media. John Morgan is that guy for me, bro.
Do
Like
a lot
I
of you?
fucking
I
love
know a
that
lot of
guy.
you guys are Twitter guys, but do you guys use Instagram?
No,
Uh,
I don't look good in a bikini, bro.
I mean, fuck no. Neither does my big ass, but I still use it.
Why? What for?
No, there's this kid, man. His name's Dylan Rush. I think I was telling him about you guys, or telling you guys about him earlier, but um, he's with Cage Side Press, man, and he's like the future of this shit, man. He is a consistent content creating beast, bro. The kid has so good work ethic, man, uh but he's getting known pretty big right now, and he's pretty damn good at this shit
Does he
too.
do
So
a
I think
YouTube show for them?
he does not. No, he does not. But he actually got brought on by Cage Side. Eddie Law took a flyer on him, and he has not fucking regretted it, man.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. I watch all Eddie shit on whenever I see it live on YouTube, and Eddie comes in here a lot, and he DMs with me, bro. Eddie
Yeah,
from
he is
Cage
a
Side.
fucking amazing guy, man.
I fucking love Eddie, bro. He's a great guy. So like,
Yeah, I'll send you a link. I'm actually supposed to be doing a show with him in the next week too.
that's pretty cool. I'll fucking if I'm available, I try to listen live. You know what I mean, and then throw up some questions because, bro, like I don't care. It's not shaming anybody to say, bro. It's hard to get live watches, especially on YouTube. You
Oh
know what
yeah,
I mean?
bro.
If
Hell
you can
yeah.
get just a couple people in your chat throwing up questions and shit for you, it's just helpful. Sometimes I'll just try to bang off a few from him. And I don't interact with videos, but just the guys from like on here and shit. Yours, I gotta find you. What is it under? Is it under?
So I put my own content on my own YouTube page, like when I go to events and stuff, but when I do the shows, it's under the Combat Lounge. But I know what you're talking about, bro, because like I mean, I get most of my views on my videos and lives after they went off air.
Yeah, after they find rotations because of people's searches and cycles and shit. And like, but I was gonna tell you, bro, you always post it through Twitter, and my fucking YouTube doesn't go through my Twitter, so I gotta find you on my YouTube. So you're your Combat Lounge on there. I'll give the follow, bro.
Yeah, dude, I got some good interviews coming up in the next 2 weeks. I actually just got a hold of Matt Frivola. I got one coming up with him. I got Ally Quinta I'm supposed to do in the next couple of weeks. A guy from Bellator named Justin Montalvo who got knocked out by Archie Colgan. I got him. And then I'm really trying to work on Ray. After I do those guys, I'm going to really try to work on him to try to get something done with Aljo. And then Terrence is trying to hook me up with Kevin Holland.
That's fucking badass.
So I'm trying, bro. I'm grinding, but this shit's not easy, bro. Because none of these motherfuckers seem to have any fucking time if they don't want to make it.
So you want to hear something funny that you'll tell me like I can't fucking believe you, Joe. Here's one for you. Grand Rapids is an hour and a half from me, and there are no MMA media sources in Michigan. Where Jamal Hill and all them boys train, there's no media here. There's no one to go there to interview them, to talk to them. There's no one.
They moved, Joe. I don't think Jamal's in he might still do some stuff in Michigan, but him, Terrence, and Kevin Holland have all been training a lot in Texas. Because I know that because Terrence just moved to Texas.
I know that too. They do go back to Michigan, even though they're not stationed there. And I think it's Frivola that goes back and forth too. But like what I'm saying is like, I've never even bothered to drive out there, bro. Like I've known for sure that they were all up here. I'm not, because I get it, bro. Like you're saying, it's hard enough. And then if you try to do it like grassroots style, these men just worked out. They're fucking busy. Like I just try to put myself in their shoes. Like they might be nice, but motherfuckers don't want to deal with that. And there's 800 fucking people messaging these guys for interviews a week, probably, a lot of these guys, bro.
Yeah, dude, you're not wrong, dude. And it's going through DMs, man, is like a long shot, man. You got to end up finding somebody that has these people's personal emails and stuff like that. Like one that I like. You guys already can probably tell I'm jumping in fucking side, but you can know who Archie Colgan is, right, from Bellator?
Yeah.
Well, he's training partners with Justin Gaethje, and when I interviewed him, he said he's going to do his best to try to get Justin to come on the show and do an interview with me.
Oh, bro, that'd be huge. You'd have to let us know way ahead. I'll make sure.
Bro, when he said that shit, dude, I'm like, Archie, don't fucking play with me, bro, because like I might cry on screen.
Yeah, that's badass, bro.
No, dude, it's just like, it's honestly, Joe, it's all about the connections and people you meet, like starting small. Like I'm even for the on topic space, dude. Like I know like you don't have a lot of media intentions, but like if you want to get interviews like for the on topic show, the best way to do it is like how you're doing it with like Miranda Mavericks and stuff like that, because they may not be big stars, right? But you create a relationship with them and they know big stars who are their training partners. And then eventually you can ask like, "Hey, you think you can get this person on?" And after a couple interviews with them, when you create the good relationship, that's what it's all about, bro. It's really about the connections you make.
But I'd never even ask, bro. I don't know why I'm like that. Like I would never ask one of these people to have another person. I don't know why I'm like that, bro. Like I would feel like I was disrespectful to Miranda Maverick if I'm like, yo, you train with this person, Could you help me out? Like, I just
No, but
don't
that's really what it's all about. Because if you talk to some of these media members, even if you talk to Eddie, man, that's the advice that Eddie gave me. Create relationships with the smaller fighters, which lead to the bigger fighters. And I said, you know what, Eddie, that's some of the smartest shit I've ever heard that I didn't even think about, and I didn't even know why I didn't.
see.
But it's true.
And I
That's
don't
how a lot of these
disagree.
guys start their media careers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think the best route is that you got to realize you're going to have to be in for the long haul and start interviewing these people before they have a high call, and hopefully you treat them well enough that when they do have a high call rate, they come back to you and want to talk to you because they remember you. And
yeah, facts.
like the one fighter who I feel like we have a really good relationship with in this space is Miranda Maverick. You brought her up, right? And like that's just sincere. I don't feel like
No,
we
I brought that name up for a reason because I know she's been back here a few times.
yeah, and like we fucking love her. Like when she gets a fight and wins, bro, like I'm for sure, even if she loses, I'll probably give it some time. I'm for sure asking her back. I don't want nothing out of it. You know what I mean? Other than now I'm to the point where like I'm a little bit vested. Like you come in this space, we get to talk to you. That's a big deal for
You
us.
know what? You know what I would. This is why I asked if you used Instagram. You know who's a good person to hit up, man? Who will absolutely 100% get back to you is Ray Longo.
Oh yeah, Ray's fucking awesome.
He will come in this space. He actually, his Instagram got hacked, so he had to make a new one. So he doesn't post on it, but he will respond to your DMs if you ask him and just tell him that you would like to do the interview through a Twitter space, and he will be all for it because his number one platform that he uses is actually Twitter.
Man, I have an Instagram. I may have to try that one.
Yeah, and then Ray, what Ray will end up doing because he's older and he forgets, he'll give you his. I'm not even kidding, man. If you come at him like media and ask him for a freaking interview, he'll send you his phone number and say, just text me when you want me or whatever, and we'll set up a time. Well, I created a relationship with Ray, and that's how I'm getting Ally Akinta and Matt Frivola and all these guys, man. I'm
See, so
telling you, it's
like
all about the connections.
so Kate, here's like while we're on the subject. So like here's the weird thing, right? Like and I've said this before and I've said this to like my buddies in person, like the media guys don't realize. So like when my fandom took off, right? Like when it fucking took off, um, I became very attached to people in the media, to certain coaches, to certain just people that were interviewed a lot or talked about a lot, or the people giving the interviews a lot. Like you become attached to these people, whether they're good at it or the same at it as the other people. It doesn't matter. You become attached to them. Ariel pisses me off more than anybody nowadays. But bro, I'm so attached to him. I was watching him in his mom's fucking basement. Like I'm so
Well, that's
attached
how
to
I
that
get.
dude.
That's how I get with some of these fighters when I interview them and I create relationships with them. And a lot of these fighters that I've interviewed, I message back and forth with them and we send each other memes like we're freaking buddies. And I'm just some fucking kid trying to become a fucking media member, man. But it's hard not to be friends with some of these guys. One guy that I created a good relationship with in Bellator is Rafion Stotts, man. He's a fucking cool character, bro. He's funny as shit.
That's
Uh,
badass. So I'll be
Archie
honest.
Colgan too. Archie Colgan, man, is a great fucking guy, and I actually think Archie Colgan's going to be a top prospect, or he is in the game. I actually like him. I don't know if you guys know a lot about him, but I just think I think he's the shit. And I don't know, man. I created a good relationship with him too. I think he's a great guy, man. Like in general, and some of these guys, man, they're great people.
So I've sent out probably, in all honesty, probably 35 or 45 DMs to fighters and got in probably 6 or 7 responses. Maybe, no, probably, yeah, probably 6 or 7 responses. And then we've had like, I think 4 or 5 people in here as a result of that, right? And like, oh man, sorry there. Um, One of the people that I reached out to was Rafion Stotts because, bro, he's a nice person. Like, listen, I come from a place with a lot of really shitty people. I don't want to talk to people with shitty attitudes. I'm not fucking interested. I don't want to have a fake nice interview. Like, I will not say the fighter's name, but like, we had a fighter in here, and he
You talk?
participated. He participated, but like,
Are you
bro, his
talking
attitude.
about like I'm not gonna like I don't want to throw him out
Yeah,
there
we're
like that,
not
but
gonna say his name, bro. But we had a
I think
fighter
I
in
know
here.
who you're talking about
You
though.
do, and bro, his
When Ben
attitude was
showed up,
what's that?
when Ben showed up,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, bro. And like, I don't need, like, I just don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to like. I asked you to come do it, and I was really honored, and I was really excited, and you made me feel like, yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this. Well, like, fuck you too, bud.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
some
mean?
you can't take it personally. Some of those guys are really like that, man. Like they just that's
I
how they
get it,
are.
and that's
But
what I'm
you can't
saying,
take it personally though,
and I
because the next
didn't.
fighter won't be that way.
And that's what I'm saying. I didn't, but what I'm getting at is like Rafion Stotts is where I was going with that. Like, bro, he's like a very positive, good
You got to
outlook.
give. I'm not going to promise you anything because I honestly can't make another man do anything. But give him about another month, bro. He's taking this loss really hard.
Who's that? Oh,
But
Rafion.
yeah, I would say give him another month. I can maybe ask.
So to be honest, bro, I probably haven't even tried to get an interview since, I don't know, in a couple months, except for the Miranda Maverick one where I got her to come back, but that was like an instant reply. It's at some point you don't want to keep hammering fighters. You know what I
No,
mean?
but I do feel comfortable enough to ask Rafian, but I do want to give him another month. I've really tried to leave him alone because the last thing that I heard from Rafian was that he wasn't taking this loss very well. So
That
uh,
kind of sucks for him, bro.
yeah, dude. I mean, I don't think he ever expected to go into that fight and get knocked out on the first round.
So are you getting any media credentials for your fight for 290, bro? Like,
Just nothing for the UFC, bro. I got nothing for the UFC. I
no,
have the
I'm not. Listen, I'm not asking to go or anything. What I'm saying
No,
is,
I'm just saying, like for the like I have all the PR contacts for the UFC, and I've had discussions with them and everything. But it's a bitch, bro.
yeah, I bet, and like I've got some PR emails for some of even like the agencies or the management companies, bro. Like
Let me tell you this much, Joe. I'll give you this one tip. I'll give you this one tip. If you if you emailed Bellator's PR, go on BZAPR or whatever it is
oh
called.
yeah, I already have.
You can get Danny Brenner's email off of there. Email him and ask him to be put on the Bellator distribution list. Okay. And then you have an event that's in the area. You'll go on BZAPR
Yeah, I've
and you'll
seen it all.
apply for
I
the event under the on topic page.
I have
And
it
I
all.
I bet you'll get approved, guaranteed.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was actually looking at it today or yesterday. I know exactly
Bellator
what
is
you're
one
talking
of the
about.
most friendliest, accepting. But I mean, you have to have MMA content. But I think the on topic page has enough MMA content where you get approved.
Maybe. I'm not. Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just
we've got a
telling you
few
though. I'm just
interviews and
telling
shit.
you if you ever wanted to just see what it was about, I bet you could get accepted.
Nah, what I want to do, and I'm gonna get it, and I'm not telling you to help me in any way, bro. I'm not even insinuating that. I'm gonna land it. I want to hang out with John Morgan. I want to like carry his camera one day, bro.
I
I
couldn't do
do.
that. I barely even have a relationship with him.
Yeah,
Actually,
bro. So
it was
listen,
a
listen.
bitch just to get him on.
I've offered like twice. I've told him like, bro, if you ever need anybody to just carry your shit, he just doesn't say anything. Like I DM'd him about it one time, he just skipped that. I'm like, it's okay. I'm not I'm not mad. But fucking yeah, I'm dead serious. There's a bunch of them fucking media
I don't
guys that I
I
think are
don't
fucking
know. I wanted to say this though. I don't know how long you're doing the space, but I wanted to bring up this topic real quick. I
go
don't know
ahead.
who's still in here, but one of the topics that I was going to bring up to John Morgan that I'll bring up to you guys because I thought it was an interesting topic and it made me think of this topic today to add to that interview when Sarukian got
his fight got official with Silva, who's I think 5-3 in the UFC or some shit. Should it be a thing in the UFC now where if you don't want to fight somebody in the rankings, that you should lose your spot in the rankings?
Reword that.
So there's the rumors going around right now that nobody wanted to fight Arman Sarukian in the rankings. So he got offered that Silva fight. So if you get offered if you're ranked, let's say, what's Arman ranked right now? 8th, 7th? I think he's in
I
the top 10
understand what
somewhere.
you're saying. So should he lose his rank?
No,
So
not Arman, because Arman was getting offered guys in the top rankings, but the guys were declining the fight. They didn't want to fight him. So let's say Arman's ranked 7th, and he gets offered the number 8 guy, and the number 8 guy goes, "No, I don't want to fight Arman." Should he lose his spot in the rankings?
So here there is an inherently huge problem with that, in my opinion, and that is this: the UFC does not directly control the UFC rankings. If they were able to do that, it could
Yeah, because
create.
it's the top media companies, correct?
Correct. So, and it's like I don't know, almost like an electoral college or something. Certain outlets get certain amount of members, and other outlets get. I don't know exactly how it works. Like, it's a fucking mysterious thing, and they have kept themselves pretty fucking hidden. Whoever gets to do it, right? So, um, but like, if you look at the Ali Act in boxing and how it creates structure, right? Like, sometimes the UFC is the evil empire, but sometimes they're held up by bureaucracy, the bullshit more than anybody, or as much as anybody. And so they're in a situation where if they controlled the rankings, they could say to a fighter, if you don't do this, if you don't take one of these 3 fights, your rank is going to fall 2 spots per offer after that until you're out of the top 10 or whatever. I'm just making up some fucking repercussions. The UFC would have the power to do that. The fact that the UFC can't control the rankings, it's just not possible. You would be talking about the UFC and the media in cohorts for that to happen. And as much as Dana tries to control it, one thing we know is that he doesn't. So, yeah, that's the problem to me. If the media, and you're a media, so I say that to you, you know what I mean? If they would let go of wanting to control the ranking so that it's fair, quote unquote fair, that could happen. But as long as the media controls the rankings, I just don't understand how that would be possible.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm trying to break into the media thing, but one thing I'll never understand is like why do they control the rankings? Like, I feel like that should be the promotion. Like Bellator, I'm pretty sure they control their own rankings.
Yeah. I don't know if they control theirs. I don't know. I'll be honest. I would assume they do because I don't think there's enough media attention to do it.
There's not. There's about 14 to 15 media members per Bellator event, and I'll be honest with you, Joe. A lot of people don't like Bellator, but every time I go to a Bellator event, man, I never, or I watch. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
it's
don't.
fucking phenomenal.
I
It's the
don't
second
think it's
best
bad.
promotion in the world.
I don't think it's bad
Sir,
fighting, man. Andrew, shut up. PFL. I'm just kidding.
So, so
Just kidding. I
here's
actually
one
like
for you.
PFL more and more every time I watch it now.
Since we're on Bellator, here's one for you because I figure we'll spin this for a couple more minutes. Um, and I'm not fucking around. So I've seen the numbers. I don't know what Bellator is being shopped for, but doesn't generate very much money, so it can't be getting shopped for too much money. The problem is,
I don't want to cut you off, but I'll say this. I don't know how they don't generate money because, for instance, when they did their event in San Jose, it was almost sold out.
so listen, all I can tell you is the company profits less than $30 million a year.
Yeah,
In
no,
in
I
recent
know.
years, it's been like $9 million profit.
But I
It
also
because
Joe.
Cade, so Hawaii, those are expensive. They
Yep.
fly everything over to Hawaii for no fucking reason. You know why the UFC doesn't care to go to Hawaii? Because it's bundles of money to do an event in Hawaii. They do bunches of them. They make poor decisions. They pay to get into Ireland. When the UFC passes legislature, I'll give you the perfect example, Paris, right? UFC lobbied, campaigned, fought legislature, got it legalized and fucking regulated in Paris. Yay! Bellator had a show there first. Ireland, Bellator had a show there first. They do it all the time, and they do it at disregard for a cost, I would assume. But they're worth so little. I was actually going to tap it or bet it. Scratch it or bet it. What are the chances Conor McGregor buys Bellator? He has enough
Well,
money. He has enough money.
yeah,
Even
I'll
at
say
4x, it's not worth more than $100 million tops. Even
I
that's
don't
4x.
I don't know if this plays a part in their profit or any of that stuff, but like I know for like media members, at least from what I heard, UFC I heard they don't do this type of stuff, but Bellator for instance, if you go and cover a Bellator event in Paris or Dublin or Hawaii or out of state anywhere, like when I went to California this last time, like it was not so the media stays in the fighter hotel and Bellator they pay like 50% of your room. So like for instance, it was 99 a night to stay in the fighter hotel. Everywhere else in around that area was like 200 and something, 300 and something a night. Or like I think 185 a night was the cheapest. But
Yeah, you
they
get a
do
super
certain
fixed rate.
things. Yeah, so they do certain things like that, and then they feed you and everything like that. I don't know if the UFC does that or not, but I know as far as the hotels, I heard they don't. But
So I
I
think they did in like Abu Dhabi. I'm pretty sure that was all paid for. Fight Island shit. I'm
yeah, yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure the UFC picked that up. But that was a special thing.
Yeah, and I actually talked to a Bellator person that I have a contact to, and the whole Bellator getting sold thing was smoke. Right? They're not actively shopping Bellator right now. They did have discussions now um, to see what they did. Okay, so I shouldn't say they weren't shopped. They did have discussions that to see what they could possibly get, but they weren't actively trying to sell them. So in the future, will it happen? I don't know. Probably, to be honest.
So
Uh,
so I'll so
but I don't know if it'll happen soon or not.
I actually don't think that it gets sold. I thought it was gonna. I was the first one saying they're getting primed to get sold. These boys can attest. I was talking about it weeks before anybody else. They're getting fucking prepped to get sold. The numbers are low. They're releasing numbers after third party companies are releasing numbers. Like they were clearly being groomed to at least be evaluated, right? But Bellator is a profitable MMA organization. This is why Bellator is the number 2 organization in the world because at $30 million, they make the second largest profit of any MMA company on earth.
So I'll say this to you, which probably won't come as a surprise to you, but maybe it will. I've actually asked some fighters, what's your end goal? Are you staying with Bellator or would you like to make the move to the UFC one day? And all of them, I kid you not, I haven't had one fighter in Bellator not tell me this. They rather do business with Scott Coker
Yep,
than Dana White because
100%.
Scott Coker treats them like family.
Yeah, 100%. So Coker is the glue over there. And like people that are there are very happy. And here's another thing that people don't realize about Bellator. Like people talk about WME, WIMG, the largest sports entity on the world. And big credit, bro. They are, right? Viacom could buy them and not miss the money. Viacom, bro, they're the type, they own TV shows, networks. So their biggest competitor is Lamar, and they are massively larger than Lamar. You know, Lamar's big product was Full House. They are massively larger than Lamar. So next time you drive down the road, look at all the billboards. And right underneath the billboards, maybe not in Vegas specifically, but everywhere else in America, if you look underneath the advertisement, you'll see a little logo and it will say Lamar or Viacom 80% of the time. And 80% of those times, it will say Viacom on it. I believe it is Paramount Pictures is a division of Viacom. Um, MTV, VH1, Nickelodeon, they own all that shit.
So I was gonna,
Bellator has huge money behind them, bro. Huge money behind them.
yeah, and I was gonna tell you too, Joe. You know how you said like the Bellator, how it doesn't get a lot of media coverage. If you show up to Bellator event after event and like you're showing up and you're covering them and talking about them, because I know this for a fact, because my boy Dylan that I was telling you guys about, he's gotten to a point where with Bellator that they actually cover his stays.
Oh, that's badass for him.
And they've asked him like, dude, when you get in, and he's already covered a couple UFC events, but they've asked him, like, you know, if you get in with the UFC, please don't leave us and stuff like that. We love having you here and stuff like that. But that's because a lot of people, they look past the Bellator's product, and I think Bellator's product is amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, so I agree. I don't know who that is. You got a mic there, bud?
Yo, I'm on that backup, baby.
Bro, I accidentally kicked you out of the space. You can't even come back in, can you?
Nope, but I'm here
I'm
though.
so sorry, bro.
That's right. Fuck that guy.
Hey, yo.
um, anyways, yeah, so what I was going to say, anyways, is that I don't think Bellator is for sale anymore. I don't believe that because look at it this way. PFL, Andrew just said, is the number 2 MMA organization in the world. So let's just say it is, right? They've lost $250 million. Well, by July of next year, they'll have lost or spent $250 million. And that's, they absorbed a profitable company in the WSOF. A profitable company they absorbed to start. And they'll have burnt $250 million. One is technically by viewership the largest MMA organization on earth. But Chatri will have burned through well over $500 million since startup, and he's trying to fund like 100 million or 150 million more or some shit, with his investors turning a blind eye. Eventually, you got to turn a profit or motherfuckers will dry their money up. So I just think that Bellator is, while the nominal value or the numeric value may not be very high, I think the value to hold a profitable MMA organization that is on big networks and shit and can be affiliated with big networks I just don't see why they'd get rid of it. UFC's on ABC, great. Viacom owns NBC, no problem. They just won't back it the way that Disney backs the UFC. They just won't do it. That's the difference.
Yeah,
Will you quit being so logical and just let me have my moment, please?
Yeah, I agree.
You're bringing up all these numbers and all these stats to support Bellator. Just let me have my moment, all right?
Andrew.
Listen, so here's a good thing. Bellator may one day buy PFL. It'll be like one.
Well, no, I'll say this, Andrew. PFL, Bellator does too, but PFL has a great. They have great turnout for their events. I know the last one that my boy went to, man, like Aljamain Sterling was there, Chuck Liddell was there, Islam was there. Like they do get some stars that show up to their events. So I mean, somebody else thinks the product's good.
Lots of people show up to their events. Lots and lots of people show up to their events, bro. They are probably as star-studded as not the big UFC cards. If you minus the 4 biggest UFC cards a year, they've probably got as many fucking athletes and movie stars at their shit as the UFC does.
Yeah, I mean, Bellator had a lot of people too, dude. I probably walked past so many celebrities I couldn't tell who they were because I went on Instagram later and I was just looking through
My bad.
photos.
I was talking about Bellator. You were talking about PFL. My bad. I was talking about.
No, I'm saying PFL that had all those people there. They have a lot of people too, but Bellator, the last time I went, I found out Junior Dos Santos was there. Obviously Gaethje was there for Archie. I ran into him, but there was a bunch of people there, man. I'm trying to think of all the names that were there that I.
Well, yeah.
Ali
Plus,
was
they got
there.
a lot of celebrity owners.
Ali was there.
Abdelaziz.
Yep.
Man, I want to interview that guy so bad.
Yeah, he'll never do it, man. He is such an asshole to media, man.
I don't care. Fuck him. I don't care. So I'm good at cussing with people. So he can come in here and cuss at me, and I'll just cuss back at him. It's fine. We could
I
go.
mean, you saw the shit he pulled with James Lynch, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I've seen the shit.
he had one of his guys that works for him threatening to beat James Lynch up.
That's exactly who Ali is, for sure. For sure. I'd like to talk to a guy like Ray Longo because he cusses a lot. We could cuss a lot.
Oh, Ray Longo was fucking comedy, bro.
Man.
He's just your Islander, bro. Your New Yorker that fucking doesn't give a fuck about anything, man. He will talk it up. He even told me, I was like, so Ray, like on your free time, like you got any free movies you like to watch? He goes, yeah, shit with like sex, blood, drugs, all that shit. I just started laughing, bro. I'm just like, fucking.
Bro, he's always on the Anakin Florian podcast, huh?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Ray Longo's fucking badass. I dig Ray Longo. He's cool as hell. I've been listening to him on Kenny Florian Aiken for.
I'm telling you, he's such a personable guy. Go on Instagram, reach out to him, tell him you'd like to come in. You do your Twitter space, tell him all the info, and guaranteed he gets back to you, bro.
I'll have to try that out. I'll have to really go check that shit out. He's a good guy. Fucking anybody else got anything they want to bring up? Me and Kate been babbling for a good fucking 40 minutes here.
I do.
What you got, bro?
Did you see when Actually, my first question is, what'd you think of that post interview of Sean O'Malley and the Sterling thing?
I hate when
So
they do that shit, to be honest. Seems so
yeah, but
scripted and laid out.
so here's my favorite part about it. I'm open to say at this point, like MMAfighting.com counts on the UFC to actually exist, because without a product that big to revolve around, none of them guys would have a job. But they fucking hate the UFC. So Dana said, yeah, we shouldn't have done that. It wasn't such a great idea. But then Ariel went on to say, if anybody else did it, Dana would say it's a dumb idea. No, he said it was a dumb idea when the UFC did it. And then Ariel babbles on a little longer and changes his opinion and says, and then Dana said it was a bad idea. I disagree with him. Like, it doesn't matter. The UFC is wrong for it. So that's just how I feel. Fuck it. Everybody hated it. I thought it was dumb. I don't like any of that shit. I don't like walkout music. I don't like Bruce
It's
Buffer.
it's even like when they did it with DC and Brock Lesnar, and then nothing came of that. It's like, why did you do that?
That thing was gaining momentum on social media. If you could see these numbers. See, here's the thing. None of you guys understand social media. Did you see that comment, Dana White, at the post-fight press conference? He told
Oh,
all
that
of the
shit was
media guys,
fucking funny as fuck, dude.
bro, here's the problem. None of you guys understand social media. Yeah. Like, for the first time, I truly seen old man Dana White setting in, bro.
Bro, that shit was funny as fuck. And you know what? Me and Eddie actually talked about that. And I was like, Eddie, that guy's probably never covering another UFC event because he made Dana White look so fucking stupid. And Eddie was like, bro, probably. And I was like, bro, there's no way that guy gets invited to come into another UFC event because he made that dude look dumb.
Yeah, bro, but listen. The thing is, if you take the NFL and the NBA and, like, I don't know what other ones are there, and you add all of them together, Slap does more than that. It does. It
Do you
does more than
actually do you think that?
that. Fuck no, I don't think
Because
that
I'm
stupid
like, I
shit.
was thinking to myself, I was like, every time, all I've heard is nothing but bad things about Slap.
So here's the thing, like, he wants these videos that will be short and get all this attention. Dana fell in love with the videos that get like 300 million views overseas, where slap fighting is popular or has that type of following, because the videos can process so fast. But, like, I don't know. It's I The only reason slap even gets any views is because on UFC 288 Fight Week, they put out all the 288 media and then hammered all of the slap fight shit on top of it. So you had to fold through the slap fight shit to get to the UFC shit. I was cool with slap fight until they put it on the UFC channel. Like, I'm fucking over it. Yeah, so here we go. 4 hours ago, slap fight will return. The promo got 6,000 views. Power Slap, Road to the Title, episode 7. All 46 minutes, right? 2,000 views, 2,700 views one day ago. This is on UFC's fucking YouTube channel. 1,400 views, 1,500 views, 1,000 views, 1,600. Fuck, I've gotten more views than that on a thing. 919, fucking 1,900, 912. Like, the fucking list goes on and it doesn't change. And the numbers are crazy different. The UFC press conference got 526,000. Cejudo's interview got 653,000. Dana's got 638,000. Fucking O'Malley pulled 250,000. Bilal pulled 125,000. Like, Slap fight doesn't even fucking compare. Like, I don't even. Dana is being old man senile. You guys don't know what you're doing. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You fucking kooky dumb kids have no idea. Wait till you see what we build from here. Like, I've been a huge Dana supporter for a long time, but like that shit is getting silly. All right, so I made it back to 4 days ago. All that slap fight shit. So that's the shit that ran before, and it is literally the exact same. Some of them are the exact same videos. None of them broke more than 5K. None of them. Yeah, I don't know. That shit is fucking ridiculous.
That's terrible.
Yeah, bro. Like on the fucking UFC's channel.
What
And I'm
about
supposed.
Contender Series? That I hope that gets a little bit more.
Yeah, I would assume the Contender Series does much better.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but uh, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's UFC, man. I don't know, man. I've been learning more and more about the way they do things, man, and I just don't get it, man. Just them as a whole, it's so political, and everything's got to be like it's their way or the highway.
It's because it's become so big.
Yeah, I mean, like,
That's why.
I'm not gonna state names or anything like that. But I mean, I've heard of media members going to UFC events for their first or second time, and then MMA fighting doesn't like them, so they'll go to the PR person and say, "Hey, we're not gonna cover events that this person's at," and then they blackmail them out of covering events.
Oh, 100% that shit
And I'm
happens.
like, that's not how shit. I mean, I get it because they're
So,
so big, but that's not how shit should be done. Because some of this media shit's turned into some people's livelihoods, and the UFC
you
is how
know,
they make their money.
listen, so you know that I don't post DMs or anything, but bro, I could send you DMs if I go back far enough that I had slap fighters ready to come on the space. I was doing it. I
I
was going to
remember
interview
one
him.
specific one. I forget his name, but it's when it first started, and you guys had a slap
Yeah,
fighter,
so
and he never showed up because his PR guy decided it wasn't a good idea or some shit.
yeah, so here's the story I got. However, it works. I thought it, I thought maybe it went some way else, but like this is what I was told. So he told me that to give him the interview thing, and he made it sound like him and a few of the other guys were gonna get it to the PR team or whatever. And then like it kind of without saying it made me feel hopeful, like, oh, these guys are open to interview and he's gonna come do it. And then I prepped a little interview and it was very like nothing would leak. Like it's like technique, like just the fucking shit that they ended up answering in interviews anyway, right? And he was like, bro, I sent that over and I got told that he was like, I can't do the interview. I was
Yeah,
like,
man,
what?
and like
And he ghosted me at first and then he messaged me
I
like,
won't even say names, man, because I really don't want to get myself into a hole. Not that you guys would tell anyone, but if someone was to come back and watch this space and hear this, but I mean, I've had one of the bigger managers. I DM'd him. I was like, "Hey, man, I want to do these fighter interviews. Here's some of my work. Send it to him." He was so cool with me, man. He was like, "Yes, dude. I can hook you up. Just send him over to my email so I have it on record and yada yada yada." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Send him an email. He goes, "Damn, you're really shooting for the stars, huh? I don't think you're quite that good yet." Laugh out loud. That was the email he sent me back, bro. How unprofessional, first off. So then I sent him back and I said, "No, those are just the fighters that I know you manage. If you have anybody else, I will talk to anybody. Those are just the fighters that I knew you managed." So that's why I was just throwing all the names out there for people that have availability that you could possibly get me. because on Instagram you told me just send over names. I said, okay. So I sent him that email back, and I was very professional about it. Never responded back to me. So when I was talking to some other media members about what had happened, they were like, yeah, that dude is a fucking cocksucker. He's like that to everybody. And I'm just like thinking to myself, how do you expect your fighters, not that I'm a big name or anything, but how do you expect your fighters to get out there on social media and shit if you treat people like that?
Yeah, so I won't name names because then if I name the fighter, you can figure out the person or whatever. But I had a MMA fighter tell me to talk to their PR guy. Got a hold of their PR guy via Twitter. PR guy said, yeah, no problem. Email me direct. Will not fucking respond to my emails. Like, fighter
Oh,
said,
isn't that well, I'm not gonna say names, but I remember you were getting a hold of one guy and he responded to you on Twitter and then he never responded to you too.
yeah, but he responded to me on Twitter because I asked a fighter for an interview. You get what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, email, no problem. Here you go. Fucking, bro, will not respond to a fucking email. And like, I'm not
I've
butthurt
emailed that
over it,
same
but
guy
I'm
too,
like,
Joe, and he doesn't respond.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not butthurt about it, but like, bro, you actually manage some lower end fighters that like lower end popularity fighters that I was trying to get interviews with. When I emailed them, I never asked him. I looked up the people they manage. I never asked him for anybody like that would be ranked or anything like that. Just reasonable interviews with some name value. You know, like Miranda Maverick would be a great example. You know what I mean? Like people will know who they are, but nah, I'm not asking you to bring the stars in here. Like you're saying, bro, I get nothing back. I'm just like, this is whatever. Fuck this. This is stupid.
That's
That's
another
my
thing that I was going to tell you too. If you get on the PR list for Bellator, ask them to add you to their media distribution list. They send out interviews, people that are available for interviews, and uh, also if you email them direct and say, "Hey, I'm looking to see if this guy will join my Twitter space and stuff like that," they literally try to do it for you. They literally will get back to you and be like, "Yeah, he has availability this day." So that's another cool thing, you know? So it's like, not all the promotions are like that. But with them, it's just like everything's got to be such a big fucking deal. If you're involved in the UFC, it's a big fucking deal for everything.
Yeah, it's all been changed now. The other thing I've noticed, I'm gonna probably cut this real soon here, but the other thing I noticed is MMA Junkie is switching over, huh? USA Today. I mean, I know they've always been owned by USA Today. I understand, but it is now becoming USA Today. Have you noticed? Like
I've heard them
all
say USA Today brought to you by MMA Junkie or MMA Junkie brought to you by USA Today, but I thought the guy that started MMA Junkie's name is Simon.
yeah. So yeah, I
So
don't
he
know.
must have a deal with them.
At some point they were absorbed. So they've been a piece of USA Today for quite a while.
So maybe he started it with them or something, or maybe there was a deal when he started. I don't know.
It
I
might have
never
been like
asked
a
him.
blog/column with them that grew, maybe. Um, but yeah, so the interviews that I've heard lately, when the interviewers, it was at the Jake Paul one today, and then I
Yep,
heard
they
it at
say
some
USA Today.
MMA Junkie, and then they don't say, they just say MMA Junkie USA Today.
Yeah, I think I don't know what's going on with MMA Junkie, but I can tell you this much: everybody that's involved with MMA Junkie, they could technically be considered. They call them freelancers, I guess you
Freelancers,
can.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, freelance,
freelancers. So they could literally apply for their credential under their own name. So they
yeah,
don't technically need the MMA Junkie, but the MMA Junkie gives them the platform to continue putting out articles and shit like that. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't know what's going on with them, But I know there's been a lot of changes in the MMA media, and I think a lot of shit's changing because I think MMA Mania went away too, right? Or no, Bloody Elbow. One of them went away.
Bro. So I talked to Nate. That's the owner. I won't lie to you guys, bro. Like he wasn't, but when they were restructuring and doing shit, I tried to see if we could get on their YouTube channel. Like I didn't want anything for it, but they he bought it back, bro. He started it. It got dissolved. It was getting shut down. He cut a deal to buy it back.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
they've got like all new imaging and logoing and like I dig Bloody Elbow. I hope as I'll be honest, if this thing we do here ever grows, I hope to be able to like somehow some way incorporate the shit over at Bloody Elbow. If I ever get back to doing like the dirt sheets or anything like that, I'll probably take them all directly off Bloody Elbow and cite those guys just out of I love them guys, bro. They fucking those are us for 20 years, bro. 15 years. Guys that have just fucking drugged the track to be part of it for fucking 20 years, bro. I fucking love them. I think 16 years or something like that. Them guys are awesome over there. And Nate DM'd me. I fucking tagged him and was like, DM me so I can DM you. And he fucking DM'd me and fucking respond. They're fucking cool over there. I like them guys.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear, bro, because I thought there's been a lot of changes, it seems, going on in the media publications.
Yeah, they got cut. So he bought it. He bought it back because they got cut. The website had to be built from scratch because he's no longer part of SB Nation.
Oh, that's what it was. They got cut from SB Nation.
And he got them to sell him back the name and I think the rights to all the articles and stuff.
Well, that's really good for him.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool or whatever. But I just like that they're like independent. So the other thing is SB Nation is branding everything. Even if you go to MMAfighting.com, it says SB Nation on it.
Yeah, they are. They own a lot of the shit.
Yeah, like they're starting to try to flex, which makes me wonder if I don't know. It just makes me wonder what's getting ready to go away or why SB Nation is being pushed so hard. And then like I also because I've been looking into some stuff, I also know that some of their websites are using APIs, which are third-party data providers where they're not even inputting their own data into the SB Nation websites for some of that shit. So like when you're like, damn, this looks copy and pasted, it's not even copy and pasted.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you though, like in the next 5 to 6 years, let's do 5 to 10. You're gonna start seeing a big switch up with the MMA media. Like your John Morgans, like there's gonna be guys in this industry that are just not gonna want to do this shit anymore.
Oh,
It's a
so
lot of
we'll
work.
see.
You're
We'll see the
spending a lot of
disappearance.
times away from your families. There's, it's a lot of time that you're not spent, like traveling. Then when you get home, you're on your computer constantly talking to fighters and coaches and agents and managers for news and promotion people and putting news, writing articles. It's a lot of time away from your family and stuff like that. And not to mention, some of these guys got full-time jobs on top of their media shit. So there's going to be a wave where a lot of these guys decide, you know what, I'm done. I'm retiring from doing this shit. And a lot of these younger kids are going to be the new wave of things. Like I don't know if you've heard of them, but like your Jake Noeckers, your, like I said his name earlier, Dylan Rushes, those are the kids that are going to start taking over this media shit, man. So,
Yeah, but so I'll be honest. If you look at it, and like I don't want to kind of squash on anything you aspire for, like in what I say. So like, please know that I'm not like saying it in that way at all. But like, so you have to understand that the landscape of the media that covers MMA is going to change greatly. We were literally just talking about how these MMA outlets are shifting into SB Nation and how MMA Junkie is transforming into USA Today. And the reason that shit is happening is because it's becoming so big and so mainstream that the Times will cover it, and real media, the
Yeah.
disappearance of the MMA media. When we watch John Morgan and all these guys retire, there might be a few guys like you and these guys you are mentioning that tail in. But the truth is, they'll become outlets like, and bro, this is not a shot. I swear to God, it's just the only one that I've really spotted yet. Um, there'll be a lot more outlets like K-Side Press that just find
Yeah,
guys that are interested.
I don't actually, to be honest with you, I don't disagree with you. And you know what? I believe in myself so much where I'm not going to ever say I won't get to a, well, I can't say that, but I won't get to a, I believe in myself to
Good
do
enough.
this and
You
break
believe in
through.
yourself.
I'm not going to say I'll ever be John Morgan or somebody of that nature. Those guys he's put in 25 to 30 fucking years since the UFC started. He's been on the scene.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say I'll ever be one of those guys, but, I do believe in myself to stay in this shit. And I have made the cool thing about me that I've done really well is make connections with other media members. I've made it a point for them to know me and for me to go in their DMs and introduce myself. And I think only one or two never got back to me. But I've talked to your James Lynch's, your John Morgans, your Eddie Laws, Jake Noeckers, your Amy Kaplan's, your Alex Behunins. I've talked to all those guys, man. And that to me goes a long way because those are big dogs in this media field, and if you prove yourself and you do it and you prove to not be some fucking clown, those guys will put a word out for you. They really will. They're all cool as shit, but no, I agree with you 100%. Like once this wave of shit's done, bro, like SB Nation's taking over the bitch.
Yeah, it'll be big media. Man, we've been
Yep.
at this 3.5 hours. That's probably long enough to fucking call it a night, to be honest. Man, me and Cade went at it for a fucking long ass time. Thank you everybody for sitting there listening. I enjoyed the conversation, Cade. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the conversation. I'm just saying we've been at it for a while.
No, you're good, bro. I'll see you guys next Tuesday, man.
Fucking we'll catch you then, bro. Let me know. Send me a link if you get that John Morgan thing posted, bro. I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah, we'll get it done in the next week. We've already talked about it, so we'll get it done. But yeah, I will send you the link.
Right on, bro. You guys all have a good night.